Howdy folks, welcome to Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition D&D campaign. I'm Joe Treff, your Dungeon Master for this evening and every evening. I'm using different music for the background and it's really throwing me off because the cadence is so relaxed.
Sounds like Animal Crossing or something.
Joining me, as always, are my friends Matt, Miles, Allie, and Tina. Thank you very much for hanging out with us today. This is our original 5th edition D&D campaign set in the original world of Alberon. We have a couple of announcements before we get started. Really quick, there is a lot of new art that is up on our Instagram, which is @AlberonRPG. There is some art of Nazara's not done yet. There is art of Aeshelweiss, the drow enchanter that Heinrich is currently awaiting to complete a ring. There is art of, actually a lot of stuff related to Heinrich. There is art of Bristle, the tiefling that Heinrich pushed off of a hot air balloon during the world's worst date, which actually rendered all of you an enemy of the state for a pretty long time.
Perfect.
Those are both up. Carranza Billows is going to be going up this week. There's a bunch of other things that are going to be going up. So definitely @AlberonRPG, @AlberonRPG on Twitter and on Instagram. That's what that word
Somewhere
is.
down here?
Somewhere down there. There's also brand new emotes. I'm not 100% sure if they're currently enabled. There's some question. If somebody could actually try that, like, I don't know if Talon's there. I know you've been showing up a little bit later.
I'm gonna try. See what we get.
Yeah, but we have, if you are a follower, you get 5 free emotes. There is one for each of the characters, and then one of me. They can emote various emotions, which is, I guess, the point. We have the disgusted Akka. We have the deep in thought or studying Heinrich. We have the money-obsessed, treasure-imbued Morwen. And then we have the furious Shay. So all ways that you can express different emotions across Twitch. So very, very cool. That is now live. It may not be... Well, I have to figure that out. But it will be up after tonight for sure. There's also a website update. There's a big one. The lore document that is on www.alberonrpg.com/lore is now stretched to over 100 pages. It includes information about all of the races and classes and how they pertain to the continent of Dominion, which is the continent we're playing on. It also has holidays. It has important information about how Dominion functions, its messaging systems, its shops, its monetary systems, the religions, history. All of that is alberonrpg.com/lore. There's a new section that has been uploaded that follows the entire city guide to Dungannon, the setting that we are currently in. So none of you go and look at that. But all of that is for free, as is most stuff that we do. And then finally, we're using Sirenscape for all the sound effects that you hear that are not made by us. Sirenscape is a digital tool set that you can use to add goblins or orcs or dragons or soft island music to anything that you wish to do. Well, Sirenscape, go ahead and check that out. And with that is all the announcements I have for today. And so I am going to bring us into our theme song for the recap.
That was kind of pleasant menu music.
I know. It just threw me off. It was
I feel like it was just scrolling slowly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you see right here, there's our link. It goes up there, top of the screen. There it goes. Oh, here comes another one. We're going to talk about
Do
that
that
real
for
quick.
you.
Something like, I won't say it.
Fair enough. Finger games. Last we played, you arrived in the Dungannon Navy base, having teleported in with no warning. Morwen, you, not on the best terms with the Dungannon Navy, kept yourself mostly obscured. You were confronted by cadets, not normally pressed into service, but after some very, very clever conversation from you, Akka, they divulged, after completely trusting you, that they had been pressed into service to help out with the recent undead kind of uprisings requiring much of the police force, the mercenaries hired by the noble families, stretched quite thin, and so these cadets pressed into service. Not the wisest, you were able to easily talk past them. Morwen, you snuck by them, just walking between Akka and one of the guards in the 5-foot wide staircase without any issue, nobody detecting you. You made your way into Dungannon proper. You went to the Verdant Ogre, a sort of divey bar with a green ogre figurehead taken from a ship that hangs over the doorway. You aggressively greeted the barkeep there, asking if hugs were appropriate and things of that nature. but ultimately interacting relatively appropriately. The only real misstep there being that you bought some stranger a tremendous amount of beer.
Maybe it'll come back in a good way for us.
At that
You
point,
didn't have to drink it.
at 11 a.m., Morwen, you started drinking in earnest, which kind of set a tone for the rest of the day. But you traveled to the Dungannon Antiquities Collective, aka your organization and base of operations located beneath the Tufe Museum on the lower mesa of Sinoso. You were able to make your way in without issue. However, you had an odd interaction with Ogle 3, this strange, Ilmarsh-born, ghostwise halfling.
And a douchebag.
He attempted to tell you that Mr. Gift, your boss and benefactor of sorts, was not there. But as a shouting match ensued between you and Ogle 3, as the note clearly forged by him, Mr. Gift made his way out of his office.
Fuck Ogletree.
Fair
That's
enough.
all I gotta say. Fuck that guy.
Mr. Gift brought you all into his office, and after discerning that he could sort of trust the remaining members of your party, you recapped some of your adventures, disjointed and out of order, and really adding pertinent information only when absolutely necessary through virtue of the fact that nobody thought to fill Mr. Gift in like a linear pattern. But nevertheless, you filled him in on many of the adventures, including the fact that your party had made a blood pact with the Grey Lady, a Duragar deep singer deep beneath the ground. In this exchange, Mr. Gift did reveal that Akka, you had made a deal perhaps similar in nature in the past. However, this was neatly glossed over as the party headed out towards the Doontop Manor, and you spoke in private with Mr. Gift about a few other things. You were told by Mr. Gift that you were not trusted by the members of the organization, as several artifacts and missives, little documents about other magical items that are being tracked by the Antiquities Collective, had gone missing shortly after you left. It explained Ogle 3's behavior and perhaps some of the others, but he entrusted you with a very unique sort of information. Not everybody is aware of the things that are missing. He expressed his beliefs about what may have happened, and together you were all able to come to the conclusion that the Ninth Path, the sect of the Zinyi monks, Shay, your order, who you had seen escape into Calypsos itself, utilizing some of the very things that had gone missing. With this kind of thread tied together, you all departed for the Doontop Manor, which is where we are going to begin this evening. So just give me one moment to bring our sound up to speed here. At the moment, it is about 5:10, so it is starting to get a little bit darker. Just one moment. Okay. At the moment, from the north, there is a strong wind blowing in, and it sweeps across, carrying elements of clouds that you can see crawling across the emerald expanse. And from the west, where the sun is beginning to set, you can see just the edges of the orange outlining the storm cloud that draws forwards, and in the darkness beneath, you can see here and there flashes of lightning, still a ways off, probably a good 6-7 hours. At the moment, in front of you, you can see the Doontop Manor, raised on stilts, this single-layered, this two-layered structure. There is a central staircase that enters the middle of the first floor, that is itself maybe 8 feet off the ground. What would you guys like to do?
I think I'm sleeping.
Where are
You
you
guys
sleeping?
left, didn't you?
Right, yeah,
And
you're
I
catnapping. So Morwen, you currently
I
asleep.
made friends with. I tried to talk to what's his name, and it wasn't going
Fucking
well.
Ogle3.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not a social butterfly, is Ogle 3.
Sucks.
His comment isn't very good either. But you are currently asleep at the Dungannon Antiquities Collective, where you all have a room.
I'm also not with the group.
Correct. You are on a rooftop.
Yes. I
Well,
was
we-
moving
No, I think
after
you
I went.
We
I
came
went-
back down and we were talking plans.
We went to Uriel's watch, basically.
That's right.
And
So
Yeah.
it
the three
ended-
of you are together.
I think you came for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Meet up.
I
I
was
think you went
like,
to Uriel's watch.
where I'm staying here, you have
Yeah.
rooms, and
Yeah.
you were like, I'm not staying. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go then.
Yeah. So the three of you now see this manor in front of you. You can see raised up. It's structured out of sandstone. It's kind of very, very light orange with striations of lighter white.
Wasn't someone talking to me? Said they were expecting me, or wonder what took so long?
Oh, hang on one
Because
second.
we went in, Aka first, I think, or Shay first, or someone, and then some dude, the halfling, I think that you had spied before, was,
Oh, the Uriel's watch guy.
yeah.
Okay. Yes,
Shay
yes,
did
yes,
see
yes, yes.
Because we
So-
already knew where that this was that place, and
Right.
we were going to meet them.
So as you entered the staircase and climbed up to where it is a little bit darker and cooler, you find yourself in a space that is about 20 by 20 feet. The portion that you are in is almost like a tower that rises up just a little bit. There's a word for it, but it's escaping me right now. You see it a lot in Victorian houses.
Parapet.
Perhaps. I don't know what that is.
Spire.
So it doesn't help me a ton, but perhaps. Is it an eave? I don't know. However, climbing up this, you can see there is a hallway straight in front of you, a doorway maybe 15 feet ahead. In front of you, there is this kind of, Shay, you had seen this person previously, this kind of elf from Uriel's watch. You can see dressed in sort of the furs, the browns, the green cloak. As he opens his eyes, they are almost this pale shade of blue. A little bit closer to gray. Just give me a second here. I found out my printer didn't work right before the session.
Probably need some ink or
so-
some toner.
Shay, you would recognize immediately this is a mountain elf, but their skin a little bit fairer than the mountain elves that you've seen. It doesn't have the same kind of almost orange or red tones. You can see maybe a little bit underneath the paler skin. You see auburn eyes that definitely draw back that kind of vivid elf heritage. He stands a little bit oddly, almost like there's some kind of an injury to the leg. But he looks to you, Heinrich, and says, "We've been expecting you. What took so long?"
Oh boy. There's a lot going on. And we had to make sure, well, tried to make sure that stopped any ill doings, at least as best we could, while we were up in the north. It took a little bit longer than expected.
I should say. Nazara was here several weeks ago and said to expect you.
Right. She did say she was coming here. Is she still not here still?
She is.
Ah,
She is out at the moment. Should be back in about 2 hours, and then we'll be out again tonight.
part of the rotation I've been hearing you guys have been helping out with.
Something like that. We will have sort of an interesting task ahead of us. Kind of looks around at all of you. I know that you have a stomach for the things that must be done. What about you? And he kind of turns to you, Aka.
I'm here, right?
You did journey with us, at least to the things we took care of in the north. Down
Kind
to
of-
even slaying a dragon.
He nods. His eyes don't leave you, Aka, and you can see he seems to be trying to
Yeah.
evaluate you a little
I'm
bit.
trying to evaluate him. We're
Make an
doing a
insight check.
Standoff.
Make an insight check. Competing
What's
insight
up
check,
with
sure.
Uriel's watch right now in the city.
Watching me, watching you.
Huh.
I gotta get my.
Sweet Euriel.
That's pretty
Watching
good. It's where is
Howdy, Doss.
I should know these by now, right?
Probably.
Your,
24.
your
24.
skills?
My insight, yeah.
Sure.
With a 24, there is this sense that as you regard this person, there's almost like a mirrored response from them. They are analyzing you as much as they are analyzing, as you are analyzing them. You get the sense there is a sense of a little bit of distrust, not towards Heinrich, but certainly towards you. And then you see as he kind of shifts his gaze and says, "And you," probably towards Shay as well. Hard to read though.
Shay is going to pull out her spear, plant the butt in the ground with the arm with the scar showing.
So you can see, though his head stays pointed towards you, the eyes just turn. And slowly he turns, looks at the arm, which, for those of you who forget, Upshay's arm that had wielded the breaker initially. Or no, sorry.
The staff.
It was the maker.
And the maker.
The effort in which to hold this thing, this weapon of such power that it is almost hard to contain the energy as just a mortal, especially with your kind of current background. It left these lightning-like scars that ripple from the wrist and then up the forearm and crawl up to the shoulder and perhaps just a bit beyond, although it disappears into the hem of the sort of orange zinni robe, or the tunic that you wear. But he regards this. You have it.
Yes.
To acquire something of that nature requires exactly what we need. You I'm not sure about, but we'll see. Nazara is bringing back a captive, a member of one of these cults that has jumped up as of late. We think there is something happening tonight. If you can aid in finding any information from this individual, it would be helpful. You could stand guard. He turns back to you, Heinrich.
I chuckle.
What do you know of what we do here?
Well, we've been here for all of, 6 hours, and have learned that you are all here, at least on the surface level, tending to the recent undead uprisings. I know that's probably not why you're here, given what I know of you from Nazara. And that's something I would like to talk more about maybe later.
What has Nazara said of me?
Not you, but the loose organization that is Uriel's Watch.
Looser than it once was, to be sure. It is a surface level, fighting these undead, and it is... We do wish to help. Our home fell, and we see signs that this is coming to a similar fate, if we are unable to intervene again. The undead are part of something larger. The leader of our organization, Watchmaster Paye, he has gone to the Kuatar Badlands, a section called the Warp, tracking a necromancer who disappears beneath the ground for days at a time.
Does any of this track with what I'm just thinking, with what we've heard so far about?
As far as I know, it's the same person.
Right.
Zeistries. I feel like I would say out loud, is this Zeistries?
From what we know, his last burial place is located within the Badlands, yes.
Right. And your friends are not here, and our friends' friends...
Morwen's not here either.
Yeah, that's why I just went, and you're not here.
Yeah.
Right. It's possible that there's a pillar there, correct?
Yes.
Right. Which all seems to make sense given the nature of the creatures, if you will.
So when you say here, you're referencing
Not in
specifically...
Here's in where we're talking about, in the Gated Marsh, in the Badlands,
In
in the Warp.
The Kuatar
specifically.
Badlands is south of here.
Right. Oh, no,
Through
this is
that.
north of the Gated Marsh. Or rather,
Yes.
yes.
So right now, you are located almost on the opposite side of
Yeah.
Port Quinn on the continent.
And guy's name, can't remember, Bubblegum guy. He was like,
Bubblegum guy?
you asked her to describe him. He's like, I don't know,
Oh,
10
Tim's...
feet tall and made of bubblegum. Yeah, no.
What?
Because you were, never mind, it was, forget about it.
I love that.
Clearly I was
Not a
the most
sponsor.
level at the end of last session. Anyways, your friend who was down there that I scried upon. Or,
Oh.
Does that all make sense now? Do you remember this all now?
Bubblegum guy.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right,
no,
forget it.
he is a very tall... Yeah, okay. So the person that you scried him was
Your
Van.
crewmate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Van.
but no one's bubblegum.
No, he's a...
No one
he's-
is, but forget
He's
it.
an
Just
elf
move
of a
on.
type that nobody has really met yet.
Right.
I mean, Veridon? Verdant. Oh wait, no, that's the
That's
bar.
the wizard. No, never mind.
Vanrid is
Vanrid.
the wizard
Is the
dog.
wizard that I had to scry on, and then
Yes.
I used him to talk to your friend
Finn.
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 That's who it was.
Finn Mud. 2
Anyways,
Ds.
they were in the gated marsh, correct?
Oh, God.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, so they had landed in the Befouled Coast and were making their way
Foul
towards into the gated
Badlands.
marsh.
There's
correct.
my crossover right
Yeah,
there.
the Befouled Coast is
Gotcha.
the south.
Gotcha.
It is technically within the gated marsh region.
Right, but not in the marsh itself.
Right.
All right. So following back into the story here, there's a pillar somewhere here between there and the gated marsh. I'm not quite sure. I feel
Within
like.
the gated marsh itself.
Most likely, yes. Is that not where the birth of humanity is? And all of
Correct.
that? Have you any certainty that it is there and its location? Or is this just...
As certain as we can be about anything, there is a structure there that would mirror the various ones about Dominion.
Right.
There are several of these pillars, so there are located. There is one theoretically north in the Meadowlands,
Uh-huh.
and there is one within the gated marsh.
Right. And each one is for a different creature or something, correct?
A different sort. Each one brings about a life form that was attempted to be introduced to Alberon at some point throughout its history through the god Aurelian, the
Right.
prime god of life.
And so the one of humanity potentially is nearby where this Zeistries guy would be operating, potentially leeching its powers, using it somehow, maybe not activated, I don't know.
The cults that we've been tracking, really when I say we, I should give credit to Perdot, but the cults that we've been tracking seem to be operating out of the Kuatar Badlands, which is why Watchmaster Paye is there.
Right.
Zeistries seems to be further to the east, within the marsh itself.
Right. Right. And this warp you speak of, where is that located?
The warp is a zone within the Kuatar Badlands where things are not as easy as the rest. And the Badlands are not an easy place,
Bit of a breach between worlds.
it would seem. There are creatures known as displacer beasts that frequent that area, and others still that hunt those.
Well, that's fun. Well, it does actually kind of sound like fun, given that what we've been doing is just bouncing from city to city. But you were expecting me and Nazara, right?
Nazara.
Nazara sent word that I would be arriving with my companions. What is it that you would ask of me?
Well, once we've completed this interrogation, we'll know more. Ideally, we'll figure out what is going on tonight, and we can intervene. I would ask if your friends are available and willing. You notice the gaze always.
And every time you do that, you look away, and it's just like you're
It's perfect.
just missing every
Yeah.
single time. He's like, you, and you're like, what?
Howdy, Talon.
All right. Well, you know that I wholeheartedly lend my support to this group, as I am bound just by my very nature, as well as morals, cause, maybe. We'll see.
Nobody is compelled. It is always a choice.
Right. Not physically bound.
And what about you?
You have my assistance, regardless of the rest of the group.
And you?
I'm going where they're going.
That's how it has been.
Just taking this a lot more.
Nazara should be back sometime after sundown. Perhaps 2 hours.
Perfect.
If you have business to attend to, now would be a time. And if you would meet us back, it would be appreciated.
Sure. If only we could make 5 days go by and then this happen, while we wait for our friends to return. Okay. I think that's kind of what I'm going to do. I don't know about you guys, but wait here. It's not like I want to walk back and then walk back again. That's ridiculous.
It's 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
How long is it a walk to get back to the
So
Dufay Museum?
Like 2 hours.
Okay, I'm not gonna go
Yeah.
back then. Yeah.
It was a trek to get here, so.
Yeah. was like, I thought it was the entire other part.
The hard
of
part
city.
is you can't take a straight shot. So
Right.
like there is
You have
no
to go
grid
from
system.
Each like plateau basically to plateau.
Yeah, so
Bridged
very
off.
specifically, I would have to look, but where you guys are currently, it's like the polar opposite of the
Yeah.
Touffet Museum. Actually, literally, so it's on
Right,
the
it's like
northeastern anchor.
northeast, yeah.
is
And-
where you guys currently are.
Yeah.
Southwestern Sonoso is where the Touffet
Right.
Museum is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like going from like West Harlem to Lower East Side or something. I don't know.
It's
I don't
a
know. I'm
long
not from
trek,
New
and you have to go
York.
across at least
It's
4
a-
bridges
it's
to
a
do
long
it.
distance.
Talon,
So-
happy birthday, and happy
uptown
birthday to your daughter
downtown.
also.
Yeah, we're gonna go all the way downtown.
Take the 405 to the 5.
So, in the
Okay, grab
meantime,
that from here.
Akka and Shay, is there anything that you guys are doing? Okay.
Offering assistance if they have anything we can do in the meantime.
So interestingly, this building, as you go throughout, it is you could walk forward, and this is like almost empty. There are a few tables that are in one of the larger rooms, but walking straight forward, there is a 10 by 10 empty square room on the left. You can enter into like a larger, almost like a what looks like a dining room, perhaps, although a little bit smaller, and again is one of those parapets, perhaps, just kind of outcropping. There's a grand kind of double doorway that opens up into a huge room that runs across the entire northern and western walls of the space. These are lofted ceilings that run both stories of the structure, and it has this beautiful, huge 10-foot wide glass windows that look out. This is like a beautiful, very expensive structure. There is a kitchen through that is kind of like open to the rest of the room. And then there is a doorway that leads to a hallway in which there are 3 bedrooms. Currently, all of this is mostly empty. There are a few tables that are kind of in pretty poor repair. This is a space that has been taken over relatively recently and is really a meeting place more than it is like a home of any kind. Akka, you doing anything? Just waiting?
Yeah, I mean, I probably don't have much ability to go investigate their place without them seeing. So.
You said interrogate. Help interrogate? Help extract information?
He turns to you and kind of regards you with these gray eyes. There are many things that we're good at. A gentle touch is not one of them. But if you have a way of obtaining information, you're welcome to try. Provided it keeps them alive at least long enough for us to get what we need.
Okay. What do we know about them so far? Any information prior to this would probably help. Devise
All that we
a
know.
strategy on how to attack this problem.
My ability to communicate with Nazara is fairly limited. But in the short messages that we're able to send, this is a younger human male, perhaps in his 20s, a member of this organization that moved in from the east, perhaps 2 months ago, but has recently surged with different activity. We'll meet him when Nazara brings him back.
What would you like to learn from them?
We have reason to believe there is an event happening in Anchor tonight. And we would like to know what it is. The Anchor is, where you
the
guys
Anchor.
currently are. The Anchor is the mesa that you guys are on. We have reason to believe there will be an event on the Anchor tonight. We would like to intervene and stop it. We do not know what this cult's objectives are. There have been a string of robberies. There's searching for something. Rituals of sorts and various items, but we find them discarded more often than not. Whatever it is, they have not found it yet.
What leads you to believe that something will happen tonight in that specific location?
It's not a very specific location. The Anchor is quite large. However, there is a pattern to these attacks, almost circular, as if they're working towards something.
And this anchor place fits the description for where, following the pattern, it would be next.
So the Anchor, I'll just pull this out real quick. It's still not done. These are the mesas. This is the Anchor. the largest of the mesas. This is primarily residential, which is why I haven't finished it as much. It's a small kind of organic market right here. This is Nasus, sort of like the governmental center. This is Sinoso. Tufay Museum, up here kind of right off the map, is the Doontop Manor. Literally opposite.
And where am I?
You are currently in the basement of the Tufay Museum right here.
Cool.
So you're 2 hours away.
Yeah.
With no idea where we are, how to get to us.
Which
Love
is
it.
just kind of normal for you guys.
Yeah.
No, I mean, where are you? You guys were talking about it. I wouldn't know where that would be.
You could probably
Got
That's
what
ask
you
you
done,
are
Dungannon?
from here.
You're from, oh yeah, you know what? You're from here, and they said the Doontop Manor. You might not know the manor specifically, but there
Probably
is a
robbed a
series.
few others.
Yeah,
probably
you would be able to
know-
find it without too much trouble.
You'd probably know what area they were talking about at least.
So that leads me to Morwen. How long are you sleeping?
My whole thing was I was gonna sleep until it was dark out.
Okay.
I wanted to see the dead people.
Okay.
You're pretty
So your goal then was to sleep for about 4 hours.
Okay.
I need
Sick.
you to make a Constitution saving throw because you've been drinking all day, and we'll see if you wake up on time.
Just catnap.
You guys have to go through this whole thing, and then Morwood shows up at like 3 in the morning. 19?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's pretty good.
You wake up, and as you look out the window, you can see just this faint glow. Or no, there is no window because you are in a basement. So
Shit, I slept through the whole thing.
you wake up.
Are they here yet? It slept through the whole week.
You wake up, and the candles on the wall are kind of burned low. Time has certainly passed, although a little groggy, a little unsure how to much. Your head hurts. You're hungover, properly hungover.
Whatever. Yeah.
But you find yourself in the bedroom, very, very utilitarian bedroom, within this basement sort of space. Stone floors, stone walls. What do you want to do?
Oh God, what's his name? Three.
Ogle 3.
Ogle 3.
Ogle 3.
What the hell is that?
Fucking asshole. That's
So-
what it is.
I'm gonna walk out the door. Just Ogle 3.
Okay. You walk out and into the hallway. You don't see Ogle 3. However, where he previously was, although you see some armor very similar to Akka's, kind of like lumped over onto the entryway table, you can see this very interesting looking spear, this beautifully painted staff that seems to be bone, with these kind of rings of silver that at the tip hold in, since you've seen one, a dragon's tooth. You see a blue dragonborn, this female dragonborn with scarring that goes down the back of the neck. You can see kind of wrapping around to the shoulder where this tunic kind of covers up the rest. Yeah, so kind of turns and looks at you, squints a little bit, and then says, Ogle 3 is not here.
Oh,
I'm Drea.
I'm Drea.
No, you're Morwen.
No, did you say? No, I didn't hear if you
Oh,
said
okay.
Andrea. Like I
Her
thought you
name-
were.
She said,
Drea.
I am
No, my
Drea.
name's
Okay. Hi. Can I get some food?
I'm sure you can.
All right, where can I get that? You guys supply here or Mr. Gift? Or?
You are from Dungannon.
Yeah, well, I've never been here before. I was just wondering if there was like bed and breakfast situation going on.
She kind of stands up, and you can see she's pretty substantial. But as she stands up, you hear the chair as it like stretches back because for her size, she is probably about 6'3". She's dense. She doesn't look especially thick, as the kids would say, but she is dense. She probably is quite strong. We're starting early, but
Damn, Drea. Okay, no, so, okay, yeah, she stands up.
she
What's
stands up, takes a couple of steps across the room, and just kind of opens the door and gestures out. The streets await.
Has Akka come back yet?
No,
How about anyone else?
they're all still wherever they went off to, I'm sure.
Are the dead people out yet?
I'm sure there are some.
Cool. I'm just.
You just walk out, your feet splashing slightly in the condensation on the floors. You make your way down the stone hallway, up the few steps, and then out and into Dungannon. The night streets quiet. And so actually, let me go ahead and change this a little bit here. So, as you head out, normally at this time, and you can get a vague sense for the timing, you don't see any stars. There are bits of light that you can see through these kind of heavy clouds. Looking across the street, you can see many of the buildings still have torches, candles, lamps. There are still people awake, but almost nobody out in the street, which is very unusual.
Creepy.
What do you want to do?
I think I'm going to slowly mosey
Yeah.
over to about where I think they went,
Okay.
towards that direction, but scoping out for dead ones as well as food.
Okay. Make a perception
Not
check.
together.
Make a perception
Okay.
check as you do so.
Any spookies out?
Ooh, I'm
Got
doing
me
well
walking.
tonight. 25.
Okay.
Spooky.
So you begin to walk, taking the slightly more direct northern path. You make your way out of the Touffet Museum. You pass this double-layered bar called The Inn. There is no bedrooms there. It is just two separate bars. You continue to walk past the Oakelven, past this sort of round building that you've heard, in theory, is related to some kind of defensive measure that Dungannon can take. You walk through these small residential neighborhoods, and every now and then you'll see somebody walking through wearing the livery of the Riders of Galvany, the sort of only standing force that really exists within Dungannon, doubling as the army and the sort of police peacekeeping
Ooh,
forces.
I'm avoiding those.
Okay, make a stealth check. You do not see any dead creatures as you pass. Nothing out of place, anyways.
Okay, that's a 30.
30? Okay. As you walk through,
Yeah.
there is no sign of your passage. The people that you see along the way, every now and then you see this guard walking by and he kind of looks around, just sticks his finger way up his nose and just digs for gold a little bit. You see he just looks around again and just,
Funny to just be.
yeah, he just looks around again. He's like, heads right down the street.
Love
You
it.
see all of this. Nobody is aware of your passage. You hear small arguments through the window as you go. There's nobody who is aware of your passage, but you make your way without any issues across Sonoso and then into the Anchor. As all of this is happening, the three of you, right around, not that you would know it, but right around 7 o'clock, after it's been dark for a good hour, there is a gesundheit.
Thank you.
There are footsteps that you hear. First you, Shay, long before anybody. Oh,
Let's keep going.
okay. I was really hoping to be right when the piano ended. That would be kind of perfect. However, give me just a second. Outside, it is beginning to rain. And there is distant thunder that you can hear. A light rain, though.
It's in my nose.
Through the rain, kind of walking up these steps, Heinrich, you recognize this person. Actually, all of you have seen this person with the exception of Akka. About 6'2", broader shoulders than perhaps... Well, she is wearing the armor now without the kind of winter fur. You can actually see for the first time the armor that she wears. It's not quite plate. She's wearing a breastplate and then elements of studded leather underneath that. You can see she has replaced the longbow that she had worn previously with a crossbow now at her hip. Perhaps with this sort of urban setting, a little bit easier to use. Give me 1 second, let me pull up her. Zara. You see the kind of almost like a soft brown to the skin, not dissimilar from yours. Also matching the hair, the sort of light teal that is similar to the magic that you utilize. It doesn't glow, but as the light hits it, it seems to kind of shimmer. Mirroring your own, again, you see like a pool of liquid gold, one eye, and then the other an inky black. But you can see she smiles a little bit, not surprised. But in front of her, she has this maybe 20 years old, very thin-looking man. There's a bag over his head. His arms are kind of tied behind his back, but you can see as she like stands close, it would be hard to see that this is anything more than just two people walking. Still holding on to this wet individual, she kind of smiles to you. I'm glad to see you've made it, Heinrich.
It's very good to see you too. It's been some time.
Sit. And she kind of down to the ground. It took you longer than expected.
Yeah, got a little held up. The north is a big place and dangerous, and there's a lot more going on there than we thought.
Your north is so small, though.
Well, fine, sure.
He turns, and you can see now walking out from the back is this other elf, who, if you had made casual conversation, would have eventually introduced himself as Thamir. Thamir, that is the correct name. But Thamir turns and kind of nods to Nazara. Nazara nods back. Thamir indicates this person on the ground. This is the one. And Nazara nods. It is. I think he might be quite helpful. And she pulls off this hood. You see like this kind of panic-looking, very badly beaten face. Human, black hair, cut short and kind of uneven. Brown eyes, although one is almost swollen shut. For Heinrich and Shay, the thing that really pulls your attention, these black robes that he wears, a little bit torn. There is an insignia, a little bit different than you would remember it, but the skull. The last time that you had seen it, it had a cog rising out of the top left side. Mm-hmm. The cog has been replaced with these tentacles that overflow the left side of the face, almost like hair. But that is very similar to the sigil of the Midnight Assembly. At that moment, you remember Thamir talking about a cult moving in from the east several months ago, and that would line up with the time that your original group kicked them out of Port Quinn. Well, actually, you didn't clear out their base, and then they cleared out in between. But this is a member of the Midnight Assembly. You can see sort of has a gag. Is there anybody who is especially apt at this sort of thing?
I think between Shay and I, we could get him to talk.
You can see this guy kind of like darting back between the two of you, eyes kind of narrowed, but definitely without any insight check. You can tell a little bit of panic.
Shay's definitely trying to make herself look intimidating.
Make an intimidation check, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, like, easily
Flex
same.
in.
I feel like I would slowly meet his
Howdy,
gaze and
Alberon.
then just do like a nice thaumaturgy eye flare, like squint for like a split second.
Okay, make that an advantage then. And actually, make an intimidation check as well.
Okay.
Akka, are you doing anything?
I'm looking.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Okay.
I mean,
That's even
You're looking?
looking at my spells.
we got 24.
24.
I'm like
Okay.
17.
17.
I'm seeing how they.
Okay, so you're just kind of
handle this right
observing.
now. Still unsure about this Uriel.
To you, Shay, you see this individual just kind of look you up and down, and turns and looks over, and you can see, and Akka, you kind of following this, you turn over and watch. It's Heinrich on one side and Nazara on the other. These two tall figures, one with these antlers and kind of these almost vague bits of celestial kind of glowing in and out with the intimidation check. And with Nazara, similar, this kind of teal hair that unfurls like a celestial mane around her face. It is a very intimidating pair. And you can see he just kind of goes from this very confident kind of look to kind of shrinking back. He seems to be at least somewhat intimidated. Nazara turns to him.
What was it called again? The Knights? No.
The Midnight Assembly?
No.
That was Tweelightfoot's cult back in
Right.
Port Quinn.
I just needed their name again.
She turns and looks at this individual. Now, you be a good boy and please don't make any noise. And takes off the gag. You can see he just kind of wets his lips and kind of works his mouth a little bit. There's like red lines where they've kind of cut in a little bit. Anybody doing anything?
Well, let's get him inside.
So they're up the stairs, not inside.
Oh, we
yeah.
are inside.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, great.
Done.
Missed
So
that
are
part.
we good cop, bad cop in this? Well, good cop, bad cops.
Are you saying this out loud?
No.
Okay.
I don't know the best way to do this. We
Uh,
could probably just soften him up.
well,
Would you like me to?
I mean, well,
What's your
why don't
name?
we try talking first?
I'm just gonna like directly to him. Like,
Okay.
What's? You know what?
He follows that exchange.
I'm not even going to say it out loud. I'm just gonna like turn and then like thaumaturgy, which no concentration lasts for a minute. We're just gonna flare the eyes up again and kind of make them very monstrously scary, or at least just like overwhelmingly scary in that way.
Yeah.
And then just use message
Okay.
to be like, "What is your name?"
You
And
can
I'll
see
try to like deepen my voice and make it like
immediately.
really gravelly and scary.
Make a performance check.
Boo!
I was rooting for you.
Oh.
Boo! That fucking hit. I'm gonna take this off. So
Can't even.
bullshit.
Can't even
No,
help you with
performance is fucking 7.
7.
Yeah.
You can see he looks at
What's
you.
your name?
Yeah.
What's your name? What's your name?
I'm not telling you anything. He just kind of pulls himself up, and as much as he can, kneeling on the ground, soaking wet and bound, he kind of straightens his shoulders.
Okay.
Hit to the face.
I'll be like, all right.
Make an
Decide
attack.
he's not looking
Roll
at me.
damage. Roll damage.
Oh no! Right
You
to
hit
violence.
him. There's no attack roll for this.
Right to
8.
8? Okay. So you clock him, and you can see, so he's kneeling down, arms bound behind him. As you hit him in the face, the neck snaps sideways, like very hard, and you can see instantly unconscious on the ground.
Okay.
You see,
We wake
and,
him up again.
gonna-
you see
Cure
on the
wounds on
side,
him.
you see Nazar kind of almost like flinch a little bit.
Yeah,
and
it's
then go-
cool. I got healing light ready just to bring him back up.
Okay.
Alright, you got this.
Yeah.
So how are
I'm just
you?
gonna use it one dice. It's gonna be one
Sure.
punch for 1 dice of healing light. We can do this 15 times.
Okay. Fantastic.
Max healing, so I think it's just 6. I don't think it adds anything to it.
6.
Let me
So you
make
can
sure.
see he is like spun in his seat, and as he's about to hit the ground, this healing light, the celestial glyphs, will sweep into him, and he kind of wakes up and then cracks his head on the ground again. You can see this small trickle of blood begin to go down and kind of run across the stones.
Can't intimidate
Be
a
like,
dead person.
try this again. At least the name.
Tenzin.
Tenzin?
Tenzin.
Tenzin.
Tenzin. Is
Tenzin.
that hard for you?
That's great. No, I was actually literally just asking.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tenzin. Tensin.
That's fine. Well, I guess I might as well write this down. This is pretty information. Okay, so Tenzin. Sin. All right. All right. Point at his insignia dealing.
Okay.
Like, long way from Port Quinn.
He's on his side currently and bound, but he tries to roll over. You can see as he follows your gaze.
I'll lift him up so he's back kneeling.
So as he rolls, suddenly, he's like hold upwards bodily, and he just kind of and you can see now the insignia. He looks at you and kind of regards you up and down. What of it?
It's a shame about what was it? Lightfoot.
Who are you people?
Not the right place for that kind of thing. What are you doing so far from Port Quinn? Ask
Well,
you again.
You know about Twee. You know what happened to the assembly.
Sure.
It was
Sure.
torn apart by people who
Such
didn't
a shame.
understand the mission.
Such a shame, right? What is
Make
the
a
mission?
deception check.
What is the mission? There we fucking go. That's a natural 20 total
Wow.
of 30.
He rolled really well. Not well enough for that.
That's fucking 30 total.
We're throwing 30s all day
Yeah.
today.
That's literally my highest trait.
Don't
or
get me
skill.
wrong. Twee had good ideas, but he was ultimately misguided. He didn't really understand what he was doing. He wanted to play at being a god.
Right. That whole crystal thing he had and everything. Sure.
I don't know anything about a crystal.
That's fine. Then it seems like you didn't know him that well. What are you doing here? What is this new mission that you're doing instead?
Bringing the dead back.
Great.
To what end?
For fun, huh? That's it?
They don't tell me anything.
They don't tell you anything. Who is the they that would know this?
You can see he just shuts his mouth.
Yeah, okay. I just look over to Shay.
Just elbow.
People's elbow straight down. Shay just, oh yeah, brother.
It just comes out from nowhere.
All right.
Roll damage on that.
9.
Oh. You drop down, and you kind of like drop to one knee, bringing the elbow down with it, and slamming all of the momentum in. It hits him in the ribs, and you feel one give away. You see his eyes and kind of roll back, and then suddenly the celestial light glows.
It's only
across
2
him,
this time.
and he just
Pick it back up again.
he kind of
Look, I don't think you understand how this is going to work. There's only one way, and that's with us learning everything you know.
Look, I really don't know who they are. It comes in messages, brief, 5 words, and I don't even know a language. I shouldn't. I think I have a broken rib. But we get messages, we get instructions. This one was meet on sun and moon.
Okay.
How long until the sun moon?
Meet on
knowing
sun and
what day.
Think about it.
In the calendar.
I do actually have now a lunar cycle because I have a fully functional programmed calendar, so I can like really keep track of things. Because the timeline was getting kind of wonky with all because we do one shot set in canon in different time periods, all in the same world, so it gets a little bit wonky. However, you would have a rough idea because you have seen it. Your guys are at about like a half moon. I can't remember how close to. It's a I think a waxing moon at this point. But that doesn't make a ton of sense to you.
Okay. Great. What describe this message, this voice. Do you need to be near something? Does it just appear in your head?
It's anyone. It could be anyone. It could be one of you, and nobody seems to notice.
And you only get these in your base of operations. I'm
No.
assuming.
You can get them anywhere.
Okay.
It was scary at first, but
Describe this voice that you're hearing. What does it sound like?
you can see this weird expression. You can see the pain clearly. His rib is broken, and as he breathes, you hear the wheeze. But the look on his face for a brief moment is almost this look of happiness. And he smiles and he says, "You couldn't understand."
Right. Okay. Sure.
Listen, buddy. I know 5 languages.
Try me.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear what?
What does it sound like to you?
It isn't a language that I understand, but I know the meaning of the words. It's hard to explain, but the meaning is meet on sun and moon.
Gotcha. Okay. What are the other messages that some of your other friends have gotten before?
That I couldn't tell you. We get messages individually.
And you feel compelled to do all of this, whatever it is that you're doing. Independent of that, or with that instruction?
Independent of that.
Great. Where's your base? Where are you guys operating out of?
You can see he looks over at Shay and kind of winces almost. This is going to be we'll call it an intimidation check and make it at advantage.
Okay. That's fine with me.
It's a pretty low DC.
That's a pretty low roll first.
These bad ones.
Still not much better. 14.
I'm gonna
You can
flash
see-
genius that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
19.
Okay. So as you kind of look over at Heinrich, who is not being terribly intimidating at this moment,
Aka just goes.
and suddenly the thaumaturgy much brighter. He looks at you and kind of looks down.
Great idea for a casting character. Only lobs his spells.
Within what was formerly his tomb in the desert. When he rose, so did it.
What was the guy's name again? Was that?
Zeistries.
I'm gonna just butcher the spelling on this one.
ZY.
Ziestries.
Oh no, I spelled that totally differently. Check that out. That's pretty cool, huh?
That's good.
Nice, nice.
Mine's different as well.
And
Morwen, you're probably about 2 minutes out, just as a heads up. So you're showing up pretty soon.
okay.
Oh, did I not grab food?
Oh, I didn't realize you were grabbing food. Then never mind. You're still like a good 20 minutes away.
I'm
Oops.
grabbing food.
The tomb isn't in the Badlands.
I
It's in
know
the
what- I know what
Badlands.
they're doing.
Yeah,
I'm
It's
there.
the end.
The tomb.
I'm hungover. I'm
Tomb of the
hungry.
Badlands.
Roll
okay,
to 100.
So, oh, food.
No,
Food's
go ahead.
important too.
This is in no way
that's-
important.
that's
This is
what I
for
was
what
gonna-
Morwen's
yeah.
bringing for food.
Yeah. Well, it's important.
Sorry.
No,
90.
Okay.
so it's just your midnight assembly located there, huh? Are there others? Because
There are.
to be
There-
fair, like you guys
Do you
aren't
want me
that big back in Port Quinn. I don't think you could be covering all of Dungannon.
I really wish I knew who you were. I don't know how you know all this, but there were more of us than maybe you give us credit for.
Sure.
There's maybe a dozen of us left, but there were things within that place before we got there.
Right. Like kobolds and
I didn't see any
Doppelgangers.
kobolds or doppelgangers.
oh, those are in there too. It's an old big place. Don't worry about it. You're not there anymore. You're here with us, and it's great.
You mean in Port Quinn?
Correct.
I thought you meant within the
No.
tomb.
We're getting there.
Yes, the kobolds and the doppelgangers I've heard of. I never saw.
Okay, so then about this tomb. It's large. There's many things more than there were there before you guys arrived and everything. It's great. How tough of a journey is it for you to get here from there?
On my own, impossible. Together, difficult.
Great. Okay. Now the rest of you guys all got this same message.
I have not met the others, if there are others.
So you're alone, but you know there's more people here. Is that how I'm understanding this?
At every time we've received messages, multiple people show up. Not always the same.
Gotcha.
So someone is bringing you all together.
And yes,
Okay. So where were you headed before, I just sort of gesture around to this.
kind of turns again. Every time you say it, you can tell he really doesn't want to talk, but he looks over at Shay.
Oh, we
He's
have a
knocked
really
him
great thing
unconscious
going on
twice.
here.
And he goes, I think sun and moon means sun and moon streets.
Sure. That's kind of what I was thinking too. I don't think an eclipse is going to be happening for quite a while. All right. Shay, I'm like looking at you and messaging.
As you say, Shay.
No, I don't. I'm
Okay.
just like looking at
Even
you.
as you look over,
Yeah.
he kind of flinches a little bit. As
Yeah.
every time you've done it, it's resulted in him getting knocked unconscious.
Like, what else do you think we need from this
Yeah.
guy? Full messaging, no talking.
How many of them are there, approximately?
Yeah.
In
So-
total, not just his midnight assembly, but
Right. Okay. Then just turn back. When you receive instructions like this and you go and do the thing that it is at the place that you were told, how many people typically show up?
If it's just people, 2, 3.
And if it's not just people?
Did you just get into town or something? I mean,
No, I know the things going on. You can't be serious. You don't think I'm going to believe it's someone like you is doing that.
I have no control over that.
Mm-hmm.
But they show up, and they don't hurt us.
Mm-hmm. And your goal is to then retrieve something?
Yes.
I'm just gonna look at him and like, I'm gonna ask you a question, and then I'm gonna look at Shay being like, I'm gonna ask him a question, and then look back to him and see if he knows what I'm getting at, without having to say anything.
Okay.
As a form of intimidation.
You don't need to roll for that. Yeah, he kind of looks back and forth. We are looking for several things. Give me just 1 second. I don't want to give you the wrong information here.
Okey-dokey.
We have been searching for something. A statue of silver. It is magic. It has some import. We are looking for a druid named Rex.
Is that what the statue is? Or is he saying like those two different things?
Two different things.
Okay.
It's kind of the way that he says it. There are rituals that we're supposed to find. And we're supposed to give Ash the material he needs to put them together.
Okay, so
You can see his eyes flutter a little bit. He like almost passes out. He's not looking great with his 2 health.
Okay,
Do
so
any of those
magic
things
silver
sound
statue,
familiar?
druid named
Particularly
Rex.
the statue. Could that be something that had been...
Make a history check.
You said searching for rituals, so presumably scrolls or something. Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
And then the last one was ashes for.
He said,
Oh wait, no.
we are providing Ash with raw materials he needs to make them.
Okay, Ash is a person.
6.
A 6? You've heard of statues, they exist, and you've seen many, but doesn't ring any bells.
No one named Ash or Rex.
No that you can think of. You know a dog named Rex?
Good dog.
Okay. And thus far, you haven't been successful in any of this. Can't find a person named Rex. Can't find these rituals, and can't find the statue. Seems like you haven't. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna look over to Akka. Sort of like. Do we want to just snooze this meeting real quick and adjourn? Do you think we need anything else?
Maybe.
At this point, you can see Nazara kind of step forwards and smiling with this kind of teal hair going down. She leans in and says, I've got one. We have reason to believe that there's an event happening tonight on the Anchor. Do you know anything about that?
Well,
And you can see, yeah, he turns and kind of looks up at her.
I figured since he was going there, that's where it was going to happen, but I guess we didn't ask that point
He
blank.
nods and kind of says, that is where the Sun and Moon Streets are. But that's a fairly large block. She kind of turns and looks at you, Heinrich. That was the one question that we were going to ask, so I thought we'd get it out of the way, too.
Okay, perfect, fine, yeah. Just check all the boxes.
Is there a
Break all
time
the
that
ribs.
this is supposed to happen? He looks up and, for a last time, kind of looks over at Shay. Midnight.
Get it, you guys? Midnight Assembly? They're really clever.
Do you say that?
Not trying to say it. I'm saying it like whispering, but like kind of whisper shouting, just so you
Yeah.
can hear me anyways.
You just message.
Well, it gives us about 4 hours, 3 hours. What time is it?
It's about to be 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you probably have like 4 hours.
Okay. Gives us about 4 hours to cover some ground.
Would you
Lauren wanted
know
to
how to
find
get
some
there
dead.
at midnight?
Get to the block?
The specific part of the block.
I don't know the specific part. I assumed that when I got there I would receive another message.
So why don't
Zara.
we all head over there together at midnight?
Hold
then?
on. I got an idea. Nazara, come here.
She looks at you, but before walking, she says, are we done with him?
Well,
Maybe not. Got a question for you.
She looks down at him. Be a good boy. And she walks over
I
to
figured
you.
Shay would just.
Shay's like menacingly
why
hovering
don't we
over
let
him.
him go at midnight?
She also doesn't know a ton about you, so she doesn't necessarily know how brutal that you could be to this guy. So she's not 1,000% like, okay, like she could definitely handle this.
All right, I'll give her a knowing nod and gesture at, Shay, like, she has this.
So she'll cross the space to you.
Okay. I walk away, so it's just the two of us.
Sure. So you guys walk down this hallway and kind of towards the sort of parapet, the other tower.
Right.
I look over at Shay and I'm just kind of like, so cults.
You gotta speak up, man.
So, did you guys get another cult?
Get another cult?
I mean,
I'm not here.
Heinrich seems to know a decent bit about what this guy is involved with.
Oh, yes, we've encountered them before.
Okay.
Zara,
Yes.
this might be a long shot, but it seems that everyone in Uriel's watch has a different set of skills to adapt to any environment. Would it be possible to maybe erase this encounter from his memory? Do you know if anyone has that? Leave it just before, and then we can just follow him, or even go there, wait for his arrival naturally to see what happens.
I like your thinking, but Watchmaster Paye would be the one that could do that.
I heard he's out in the Badlands right now.
Would we have
Yes.
something that would work back at the Antiquities Collective?
Make a flat intelligence check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You do not. However, you would know that there is a missive that you've perhaps glanced across that has something that is the censure of mind erase. Perhaps would work. It is not something you possess. However, you probably have some info about where to find it.
Yeah, probably not in 4 hours.
Censure of mind blank. Sorry.
Would it? And it's not somewhere like, oh, we could just run across
Yeah.
town to
Yeah.
grab
You got
it.
a
It's not like,
missive
oh, we
of a
lent
rare
it. We
object
lent it to
that's next
Steve.
door.
We lent it to Steve, who's at 10 Moon Street.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
rare object that we have this whole
He's just
missive
3
on.
blocks away.
It's
Let's go.
2 blocks away, but everyone's too lazy just to walk over there.
There's a lot of objects that the organization does track.
And some of them are in Dungannon.
Some of them are in Dungannon,
right.
and the very purpose is to track and make sure that you know where they are should anything happen and should they need to be recalled. There are some that are like, for instance, there are things that exist within the Alchemist Association Guild Hall that are very well known. You can't just go take those,
Right.
And they're not going to give them to you.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a lot of friction between the Alchemy Association and the Antiquities Collective.
Just like Ogle 3.
All right. That's a shame. So, at this point, I don't believe we could get him to cooperate. However, I might have a trick if we get there a little less than an hour before with him in tow. Or we could just leave him here and go and scout out ourselves and wait for the undead to arrive and do it by force.
Turns and kind of looks at your group, which at this point would now include Morwen, who is walking up
What
the
did I
steps.
I would look back and just wave like, hey, here.
Yeah. So
Oh no, I'm
Morwen,
creeping.
Oh, never mind. I would never see you.
in a little to-go tin, you have a piece of like a skirt steak. When you got it, still steaming. It has this kind of dark, almost salty brown kind of thing across it, and then like a sauce. There are little seeds that float across it, very similar to sesame seeds, and these like kind of green onion situation across. So there is this freshness that cuts across the very salty umami flavor of what is essentially like a teriyaki kind of deal.
Not bad.
Yeah, pretty good. And so
Alright.
munching on that, you walk up, and Nazara turns and regards your group.
I'm creeping though.
Personally, make a stealth check.
To hide in a well-lit empty room.
It's not well lit.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, very, very low lighting
Well,
here.
there's one shadow.
I just
More
want to
than-
hear if y'all talking shit or not.
Oh, by the way, everyone, fuck Morwen.
Just so we're here though, real quick before she comes.
While we're all in the room.
That's the
Yeah.
29.
A 29.
Hey, Tenson, what's your opinion on Morwen?
Sucks.
Yeah.
I do know that name.
I'm sorry,
I
but
throw hot soup at him.
I'm sorry, but tabaxi people suck.
I like that you said that.
It's a video.
So, she turns and regards your group and looks at you, Heinrich. Personally, I would leave him, or do whatever it is we're going to do with
Right.
him, but not bring him along.
Right.
I'm interested to see how your group functions. I've heard a number of things.
Yeah.
So I will follow your lead for tonight.
Sure. And I know that you said it before, but you are all very adaptive, and I think that's kind of our MO. It's just, oh, there it is, do it.
Boom!
You can see, 10 feet away in the hallway. The eyes just open up.
Yeah.
As soon as Morwen gets there, I'm like,
What are you to dying?
did she steal anything from the collective while she was presumably
Make a perception check.
like by herself
Sure.
in the museum?
Make a
for
perception
bit?
check.
That's I think 23.
So, looking at Morwen, there is nothing immediately obvious that she has stolen. She's not wearing a whole bunch of like magic rings. Okay, not like there's no jewel encrusted
nothing
scepter.
immediately out
Right.
of place on her.
Would seem as if nothing this time.
Okay, good. Don't go stealing stuff in my house.
Right.
I do what I want. Everything's mine.
I will say that the anchor is almost helpful. Of course, there are civilians to be careful with, but there are not many places that an item like that could be. It is a residential area.
And we think that the statue is what is going on here, or do you think it might be the rituals, or maybe any of these components that this ash might need? Or is there a rumor of a druid living near that area? Any of these things?
No druid named Rex that I know of, but I would guess either the scrolls or the statue.
We should probably get down there ahead. Recon. Maybe get some of the local guards to clear out the area ahead of time.
Ah, there's the wisdom.
No, just kidding. Get everyone to gather there instead and lock them in.
Ah, should we make loud noises and
Yes, absolutely.
I can
And
do that.
Set up.
Yes.
We saw
let us
these
go
wonderful
and let
things down in
everyone
the up in the north. These barricades with not. No, I'm just kidding. All right, but yeah, let's go ahead. Let's see if we can alert the guards ahead of time, since they seem to trust you. They spoke of you highly, and
In Dungannon, there are not really guards. The riders are like a militaristic force.
even easier
But-
to convince them to get things. You know what I mean? Saying if it was an official body, they'd probably
If-
want more proof.
if
If you
there
just
are-
scared them, they'd probably get everyone to leave anyways.
If there are any in the area, it's been make sure I have the right noise, or the right what's it called? Name. I'm using the wrong button. Here we go. It has been mostly me and Perdot who have been patrolling that area, but there have been several of the children of the Bloodroot who have passed through there. They might be in the area and could perhaps render help. They're a grim bunch, but helpful.
Bloodroot
how do I,
doesn't make me feel pretty.
How do I
good.
know him? We on good terms?
For who?
Cool.
For the who?
The people you just like that could help.
The Bloodroot?
Yeah.
Make a history check. Morwen, you haven't directly dealt with them, although you
Which
are
isn't
aware.
a bad thing.
No,
I haven't
certainly
directly
not.
dealt with them.
Certainly not.
Right.
Compared to how mostly you have
Yeah.
reputations with people, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my, guys, I've been doing so well. What was it?
History.
Oh, dirty 20, dirty
A
20.
dirty 20?
Yeah.
The children of the Bloodroot originate a little bit to the north east of where this is, kind of right in the foothills of the Sunchoker chain that separates the west coast and the east coast, this mountain range that goes up the middle. You've never been there. You know that they are sort of, from what you know, they hunt down like demons and things like that. You believe however much of that you choose to believe, but you've heard that. You've never seen anyone from the organization.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. Be cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So what are we doing?
Welcome, Morwen.
Hi. Who's this?
Um,
Hello. I'm gonna go shake his hand.
like behind his back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
you know what, Morwen? This is perfect.
Yes, I am.
We all know how much you love to loot, and everything.
Oh, this guy got stuff? I'll find out.
You can see he's like trying.
Have at it, please.
He's like 15 feet away from you guys.
Yeah.
So you actually snuck past him
Uh-huh.
and past the two of them to get to this place.
Yeah.
And now as you kind of go, this guy has loot. He tries to like turn and look at you because this is a whole
Yeah.
new person now
Yeah.
that is here.
What is it?
Tenzin.
Tenzin, thank you. Unfortunately, your services this evening are no longer required.
Wait.
No, we don't know that. I'm gonna search
At this
shit.
moment.
Whoa,
And
Make an
we'll let-
investigation check.
I was just
I
gonna
think
say we could
we-
just knock him out and leave him here. Is kind of what I was getting at.
No, I think we leave him and we follow him to where he's gonna go. Because if he's gonna get another
Dude, so
message,
well.
Okay.
Wait, what was
Yeah,
it?
but he
19.
doesn't like us. He's gonna break road. He wouldn't just happily go on like nothing happened. He would deceive, try to lie, whatever, go the wrong way on
but
purpose.
if it gets some sort of imperative message from a thing that has compelled
You know
him,
what? Good idea. Let's still maybe make this looting a little easier and just give him a nap and then we can wake him up when we get there.
As you guys are talking this is like where the camera kind of goes up above you and you see Morwen just going through his shit.
Yeah, yeah.
With a 19. You
What
don't.
do I take?
Okay. So he is captive. There's no bags. There's not a whole lot of gear. There are these dark robes. There's this patch that has the skull and the tentacles coming off that you could rip off.
Why don't you just take the cloak and wear it? It's pretty fucking cool.
That's what I'm thinking. I think I want the cloak. Is he naked
Yeah,
underneath?
you could take the cloak. No, so it's robes.
Okay.
And then a cloak also. The cloak is dark. It doesn't have the symbol on it, but the robe does. There are no daggers or weapons. You'd imagine those were taken. With a 19, I think that's all you'd find.
Yeah.
So I just get some midnight assembly robes?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like old times.
But with tentacles.
Nazar, did you uncover anything on him before this? Besides like weaponry or anything?
She kind of reaches into the armor and pulls out like a little bag and kind of shakes it back and forth. Your coins moving back and forth. A finder's fee.
Sure, that's fine. But no missives, no instructions, no.
I would have
anything
shared
really
such
useful.
things.
Yeah, I figured as much. All right. Well, we can hybridize our plan here. Aka said probably a good idea to bring him along as
Well-
captive, maybe just to see if he gets that sort of message. And we
Yeah,
can
but maybe I can
extract
just
it
go
from
in. I've
him.
got the robes now.
Right.
Can
If
we
something is reaching directly into the mind,
talk about
to
this
talk
without
to them.
him right here.
You're fine, right, buddy?
He kind of turns and looks at you. I think I have a broken rib.
You know, but you got a few more. It's cool.
Okay.
You're fine. You're fine, buddy.
I
You're
guess.
Look,
Yeah.
should we give him a nap to continue conversing? Is that what you'd like?
I don't like that you're giving him a nap. Why don't we just leave him, lock him up for a few hours?
Well, because we'd have to go right now. There's going to be plenty of time that we
Hey,
need
buddy,
to use
you
to
want a
search
nap
and
or do you
clear
want
out
to be
the
locked
area.
up? All right, I can't guarantee you won't be locked up, but would you like to be sleeping during it? I'd help the rib.
I don't really feel like I have any choices here.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, you either stay awake or you don't, you know?
She looks at Shay. What does it mean to go to sleep?
Just do it. Just do it.
Look at Morwen for a second.
I've got the garb on. I'm like, Miss Pal.
Remember this?
Hand into the.
So as you're looking at Morwen, just boom, right into the neck, and he just drops
Okay.
unconscious on the ground.
Can I check to see that he's not dead?
Yes, you bend down.
I'll stabilize him in case it's needed.
I'm also going to work on securing the rib and everything now that he's actually unconscious.
Okay, so for what it's worth, you do knock him unconscious, and he is in death saving throws because you cannot do less than 2 damage. I think you can't do less than like 5 damage. So
6.
6. So you didn't specify non-lethal. So he does. You like break something in him. However, Heinrich, as
His
you bend
spirit.
down, you feel like these ragged breaths. You stabilize him.
Yeah.
He's alive.
I mean, I don't even need to do a medicine check. I could just use spare the dying.
Yeah, but he's
So I'll literally spare the dying on.
breathing.
It's fine. This is
rapidly,
what
but
you
okay.
wanted, right? You could have
No, I
specified. I
don't-
gave you the chance
I
to.
don't- I didn't tell you to start killing him.
It didn't kill him. He's
Thamir,
totally
this
fine.
mountain elf with the kind of paler skin, looks at you and says, I am staying here, and so I could have just looked after him.
Right, but the point is, if we bring him to where he was instructed to go and wake him up, he might get another message that would help us,
Well,
which was the idea.
use him as the bait. If he's got this objective, we let him follow it and see where he goes.
Yo, let me
You don't
just
have
wear
to-
this garb. Let me pretend I'm in this midnight assembly and be like, yo,
Well, I mean,
Tommy, I didn't get the
that's
message.
also part of the plan.
Let's
that
do
I
both.
had. We then go in.
Not to rain on your parade, but I feel like they would notice a tabaxi
That's kind of what I was
walking
thinking
in
too.
as
the
a
robes.
cult member.
You didn't notice me walking in here.
That is true.
But I understand your point. Someone chop off my ears. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. I think we should get going
That'll
with
help.
with Tenson in tow,
Okay.
and when
Why?
we
We
get
just put him
there,
to sleep. His ribs hurt, man.
Well, I think it's clear that if we need to take him out, we can, because you've already done it like 3 times.
I'm just like counting. Yeah, 3 times.
Wait, wait.
I
So
think
I'm
he's not
confused.
himself a threat. We follow him to where he was gonna go. and
So you
see
can
what
warn
happens.
everyone?
Yeah, I don't think you understand. It's not like
Keep
he's
him
going to
gagged.
just start behaving normally if we let him go.
What's he gonna do?
Tell people.
Lie,
The thing is-
misdirect. It seems.
Nazara
He
says,
gets
the thing is, we don't know. And that's just an added uncertainty
Exactly.
that I don't think we need.
Lack of control equals bad.
Question.
keep him bound.
Do we have any idea of
That's
where we need to go?
not gonna-
Let's see.
To the sun and moon square, was it?
Oh yeah, I passed
you
through
know
that
where
on the
it
way
is.
here. Why
On
don't you
the
guys
sun
tell
and
me? I
moon.
would have met you there.
You
I'm
actually
just
all
kidding.
passed
I
it.
don't know.
It was kind of on your initial trek up from the docks.
Mm.
To pass that, you had seen, I think Heinrich, you in particular, had seen Dustmock's pawn shop. You had peered in the window. But it's kind of
Morwen.
that's actually on Sun.
Oh, okay.
So then, couldn't we just go like scout this place out and then find the people wearing like literally this situation?
I highly doubt
and
that's going to
follow
be the
them?
case, but we could try.
Well, he was wearing it.
When he was
Isn't it the
captured
thing?
outside
you
of the
missed
city.
Well, I'm
Is
not
he
quite
within
sure if you were
earshot
here.
still?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
unconscious.
yeah,
so.
yeah, he's unconscious.
Okay,
But
he's
she
right
says
now.
to you,
Yeah, exactly.
you weren't here when he said it, but apparently the undead also work with this group. So it may not be just the Midnight Assembly.
Okay, yeah, so we follow some dead people. Dead people stick out.
It's not even following. We got to go to the area. We got to clear it out ahead of time so that no one gets in trouble or hurt or anything. And then we wait.
I hate waiting.
Well, we're gonna have to wait for your friends to get back. So you might
Well,
get
that's
used
different.
to it.
Well,
That's for me.
Yeah, that benefits me.
It's not. It's no different than the excitement you have of waiting to see all the dead people. Am I
also,
correct?
would your friends enjoy a city with a bunch of dead people, or not a bunch of dead people when
I mean,
they
kind
come
of as
back?
like target practice.
I think we should be on our way. The biggest question right now is: do we bring or leave this Tenson? Looking
Ask
around.
your
All
book
right.
where the hell this meeting's happening. We
Why
don't
don't
need this
we-
dude.
Set it up so that it looks like we're locking him up. But oh no, there's a way for him to escape. We trail him if he, in fact, tries to escape and go to the place. And when we get there,
Not enough time. Too long of a plan.
Not really.
we have
you just
4 hours. I
you
just
put him
explained
in
it.
you put him in a cage. Do we have a
Tell
cage
him
here?
Tell him
Is
we're
there like a
locking
jail
him up.
cell?
Yeah, tell him.
You're asking
Tell him
Nazara?
we're putting
Yeah.
him in custody.
All right.
We have rooms that we could lock, but not a jail cell.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'll just tie you a
Great.
loose knot.
A
I will
simple
leave
lock.
you in charge of this portion of this idea. I will
Looks
go
like
ahead with Nazara to
decorating.
work with the guards or local watch to clear out the area ahead of time, and you all can track, because I know you're disappearing and you can fly, so you can keep a watch on him and track his movements,
just
and we'll
think-
meet you there. How about that? Does that seem fair?
We should probably be somewhat vague with what we tell the guards. don't want.
I'm not
really-
going to tell him anything. I'm not talking to the guards.
Because we don't know who could be a member of this cult.
Sure, that's fine. I
The
think
other members
we're just
in
gonna
the
say there's a
guards.
rumor that there's danger and we should clear out
just-
tonight. That's it. It's quite simple. We'll take
I'll
care
tell
of
you
that
what,
when we get there.
since this seems to be taking longer than I planned, I'll go
Same.
ahead. I'll deal with the
I'm gonna
guards.
join you.
Okay.
I don't want part in this other subplot thing. I was hoping to just leave him here or bring him this whole extra complications. A little too much for me to care about.
Shall we then?
Yes.
Okay. So she begins
Be
to walk.
proactive. I'm leaving.
Shay?
Following.
Okay. So the three of you head out and into the rain.
So wait, they just left him unconscious on the ground?
In your guys'
I'm
care,
still
plus
here.
what's his name? Plus what's his
I
name?
worked
Thamir.
on like
Thamir.
patching him up before.
Yeah. So we have, Thamir, who's the
Aka hasn't
also
seen
an elf.
Shay CPR.
Thamir is an elf. He's a mountain
Okay.
elf.
No.
I've
A
just
very
seen
odd
a lot
looking
of
mountain elf, but a
your
mountain elf nonetheless.
DPS.
And Nazara's also she's not.
Nazara is, give me a second, she is. I believe she's a mountain elf as well. Yeah, so she's a mountain elf as well. That's why she has that kind of like soft brown adobe skin.
Okay. Cool. Alright, so we're heading off. Thamir's staying, said he was going to stay. Can be the guard that this whole plan hinges on him, like, oops, letting him go.
So, the three of you walk out into the rain. Aka, you and Morwen are staying behind?
Like at the moment.
Okay.
Lucky guy.
Okay, I gotta reevaluate this plan now.
Thamir looks at the body and kind of looks at you. Well, I'm injured, so is somebody else going to move him? We have a room we could lock him within.
So they
Yeah,
can
I
knock
think he
this
looks
guy
fine.
out and... Alright, lock him in the room.
Yeah, you gotta move him.
I love how you're just standing there, like, at this
And just tapping him
unconscious
with my
body.
toe,
You're like,
like-
you gotta move him.
Yeah.
Morwen also has no reason to need to move him. She wasn't even
care.
there when he was getting knocked out 3 times.
You just showed up, found like this unconscious dude, and just took
I
the-
showed up, took his clothes, and
While he
then
was,
watched
while
him
he
go to
was
sleep.
conscious, though.
Yeah.
And then he
just
got knocked
knocked out. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying before. It's like when we first met Aka, and you live looted a living corpse.
It's my thing.
They're not using
That's
it.
the chaotic neutral. Chaotic evil would be killing him first. Chaotic good would not be.
Yes. Yeah, they know
Be
that I'm
asking for
taking
a
their
savior's
stuff.
fee or something.
It's very polite.
With a slight limp, Thamor walks over to this door about 15 feet down in the hallway that the conversation was happening, and kind of opens a door and gestures.
Alright, I guess I'm gonna fucking drag this guy down the hall.
You don't need to make a roll for this. You're dragging a body.
Yeah, fucking drag
You gotta
him
haul
body.
him in, his face kind of like coming along the stones, and you get in there,
Oh,
kind of
careful.
throw him in,
Don't wake him up.
shut the door, lock it, easily enough from the outside.
Cool.
Alright,
Now what?
well, this plan was a lot better when everyone would have been in on it. So,
So what's happening?
I mean, we could still follow him and see where he goes if he gets a
No, why
message,
we didn't
but...
go anywhere? You just locked him in, too. I want to see the dead people, dude.
I mean, we lock him in because he's knocked out, and if we have some time to think about what we do in the next 4 hours to, like, prepare for this.
So what? When he wakes up, you're
This
going
is
to unlock the door?
A recurring piece of a string of events. I can't... You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm confused. How do you follow him if he's locked in?
Well, we can unlock it, right? We unlock the door.
Yeah.
There we go. If he thinks he's free to go, he gets another message, he'll try to break out. And then he goes, and we follow him to where he goes.
Okay, what if he doesn't do
Have
anything and we
people
miss out on
ready.
all the action?
Alright, let's just...
No, it's okay. I mean,
No,
I can
no,
go.
no,
I just
no,
don't want to
this
miss. I just had dinner.
It's
This
okay.
is the show.
Yeah, no,
You know?
I guess I'll just fill you in on everything that's happened while those two beat this guy to a living pulp. And also knew way more about this cult than they should have.
Oh yeah, this isn't my first set.
Was there anything from the cult that I had been tracking for the Wand of Wonder?
No. So that's
Okay.
it's a
Yeah, that
totally
was
unrelated
totally
thing.
unrelated. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I had to
Yeah.
design that specifically to get Akka into the story.
Okay.
Because I wasn't expecting Guntir to die.
No one was really, especially, yeah. Okay.
I won't make you relive that trauma. Don't worry.
Well, I guess we just go over to where they are and meet them at the Sun Moon Street.
The Sun Moon?
The block that we're going to.
The sun. So it's
Sun
yeah,
and-
yeah.
yeah.
The block of the Sun Moon Road's
Yeah.
kind of like line out.
Yeah.
Okay. So you and Morwen are heading out, maybe like 5 minutes behind the others.
You got the cloaks. We can try to sneak in if we see
Well,
other
you
people.
said that
And we'll
I
just
wouldn't
be
be able
there.
to blend in.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, you're right, you didn't. I won't be mad at you then.
I've
For
seen
that.
you sneak around. I know you can sneak in if you wanted. If we
Like
know where
this,
to go, that's
mid
what I'm saying.
conversation.
Make a stealth check.
I don't think we should try to raise as much alarm.
That's a 27.
Make a perception
Seems
check,
like
Akka.
some-
You could technically see that.
That's a 16.
Morwen just goes like this, and you see just the eyes in the darkness, and then they shut, and you just kind of reach forward, and there's nothing there.
Yeah. Like that.
From the back, you actually see this dim celestial glow of teal. You've seen come from Heinrich before, and turning, you can see the Emir's eye glows with this kind of teal light. He looks around the space, and he goes, "Wow." Still unable to see.
Just on the ceiling, like. No, just,
All right. Well, why don't we go? Yeah, let's just go.
I
Leave
think
him.
she's gone.
No, she's probably still around somewhere, unless she saw something that she could take.
is there stuff I can take here? What's around here?
So as you've walked around, it's been a very empty space.
It's like an old empty house.
Yeah.
Well, at least I got somebody else's clothes
That's
from
true.
it. Okay. Cool. All right, following you.
Okay. So maybe 15 minutes behind, you guys
All right,
are following.
Morwen, I'm heading out now.
Coming.
Still not really sure where that comes from. It's like an eerie echo in a space that shouldn't have one. But the two of you eventually, I guess, make your way out into the rain. For the rest of you, as you travel, you cross through these rain-swept streets. There are areas where the streets kind of angled down water pools, and there are like almost stretches of just mud across the cobblestones. But as you cross the first bridge and enter the anchor, or sorry, you wouldn't have to cross the bridge.
Just go down the
Heading
hill,
south.
right?
Go
So you
southwest.
go down this hill where you can see many of the residential houses kind of not anywhere near as steep as San Francisco, but you get like a good view of a lot of the houses going down. In the rain, hard to make out a lot of details. There are fewer lit windows that provide these kind of little halos of light in the darkness. People are beginning to kind of settle to bed. You don't pass guards on your way. Is there anything that you guys are doing on your way there?
Okay. There's a great steak place down the street if you're hungry.
So you lived here, right?
Yeah.
How long have you lived here?
What, 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5.5 now.
5 3/4.
Huh. Okay.
To
That's
Nazara.
all? That's all you do? That's
Okay.
it?
To Nazara.
How about you?
Smash cut.
Oh, wait, no.
Like 10 years?
Oh, weird. Never heard of you.
Yeah, I'd never heard of you until, you know,
Oh, I'm sure I doubt that.
you murdering people. Yeah. Well, I guess it's gonna be a fun walk to Sun and Moon Street.
So
As the camera floats up.
yeah. So to Nazara, I would I'd ask, so when these attacks occur, at least in regards to the undead, well, I guess two questions. One, is that all that there is? Just undead humans?
No,
Humanoids?
certainly
Are there
not.
beasts? Are there other things that look to have been brought into the world?
We've seen
Thinking
spectral.
cultists summon or be transformed, maybe not by force. Is that a possibility?
Possibility. I'm unclear as to exactly what is happening, but there are amalgamations of undead. There have been these towering creations of flesh and bone, similar to an elemental almost, but less pleasant.
I'm just thinking back to the Azers and just imagining them made out of flesh and just kind of like, ew.
There have been undead creatures of a more spectral nature, although I've not seen one myself. Apparently, they're somewhat more direct in their approach to things.
Okay. And do they just come up out of the ground? Or do they just appear?
It
How should
varies.
we prepare for their arrival?
Unfortunately, in Dungannon, many of the dead are buried on family plots on land.
Huh.
And so, even from beneath the streets, they can rise up.
That's wonderful.
It is not.
No, I'm being ironic.
I'm aware.
Or sarcastic, sorry.
They seem to all head in the same direction, roughly.
Towards their objective of whatever it may be.
Maybe, but to the east.
Oh. To presumably Zeistrese's location.
I tracked one into the Kuatar Badlands and then doubled back, as that is not my current assignment, but the Watchmaster is aware, and I'm sure tracked them further. As far as we know, they do head into the warp, and then from there, hard to track. But they don't seem to go anywhere from beyond.
Okay. So we won't get a heads up on them arriving, since they could just come right out from under us, but okay. Well, I guess that's the best we can do. If this area is where the next upheaval will be, just clear it out when we get there.
I'm hoping that there is one of these statues or rituals there, and that's one thing that we could take away from them.
True.
It's better in our hands.
True. We could search with the time we have. How much time do you think we have now?
From where you guys are, probably about like 2.5 hours. Still a good
Okay,
amount of time.
that's-
It's not a far trip.
Yeah, that's a good enough time to canvass the area,
Wait,
warn people.
I have a question for Akka. Now
Cut
that we're
back.
having a weird, awkward conversation trying to get to know
In
each
the
other.
rain, no less.
Yeah. Wait, so how does the Antiquities Collective get their stuff?
Well, they go out and get it.
So, like, maybe stealing, right?
Usually not, but like,
Well, if it's, like, not in your possession already and you're, like, going to go take it, doesn't that kind of
I mean,
like, I'm just wondering.
usually it's like trying to do it a more diplomatic route.
Like, buy it off
I'd say.
people?
Depending on the item, you know? Some items obviously you're not going to just be able to go out and buy from people.
So then you have to take them.
Most of the time, yeah.
And you're like, okay doing that? But you judge me when I do it? I'm just wondering,
It's
you know? Just trying to figure
Not
out
so
our
much-
common ground here.
so,
Thought that might be it.
you know, think of it as like these items are in a library,
Ugh.
right? And sometimes people take out library books.
Like you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought you weren't supposed to.
Well, that was a different kind of library. Because certain
Yes.
items, as you know, are very strong in this world. Like the maker and the breaker.
Mm-hmm.
And not just anyone should have those kinds sorts of weapons and magic items.
Yeah, sure, I follow. Yeah.
And so the library should collect the books back before someone who's, taken it overdue has a chance to cause some real harm to the book or somehow everyone around them. Right?
Okay, so you're protecting that book from other people.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not books.
So might you
Sometimes
take
it's
that one?
books, but it's not usually books.
So, do you plan on taking that all from Shay?
So right now, Shay...
I'm staring at you like I'm 5, like, what? What does that mean? What does that mean?
So, the expiration date for Shay's period of book rental hasn't expired yet. But at some point it might, depending on what Shay does with it.
Are you the person?
Librarian.
Are you the librarian in this situation?
Not really. I'm like the librarian's...
Hitman.
The Librarian's Hitman is such an awesome checkout lane novel name. I would buy that in a second.
That's now a book that exists now.
The Librarian's Hitman is awesome. Oh my gosh. Yes, Das, this is an appropriate this is an appropriate phrase for this moment.
So then, okay. I mean, I guess I kind of get it. Not really. You can tell in my eyes, no. I don't. Well, that's, okay, I guess that's kind of cool. I guess I was just, like, wondering, too, like, what was that first contract you signed with Miss Runelin?
What?
Didn't you sign a contract with Miss Runelin before?
You guys signed a contract.
Yeah, no, but you did, too, or something. You had some,
I didn't sign a contract with her.
Yeah, but didn't you before?
No. She gave me this weird shield.
You don't have it.
Oh,
You
yeah,
left
no,
it there,
I
and-
left it back there.
Then what did I overhear in your conversation?
It was when he went out to just like talk to her about maybe
Well, no.
striking a
No,
lion.
The shield, 'cause I
overheard
wanted
a
to show it
conversation
to
he was
Drea.
having with Mr. Gift.
Oh,
But
it had
I gave
nothing
him
to
the
do with that.
wall.
Okay.
Oh, wasn't it
That's
through
true.
that?
That was about
Oh, we
as-
scratch
that was
it.
about
We
as-
scratch
You
that.
scratch it. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I thought I was trying to catch him in everything.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, interesting. That's lovely.
So,
That's cool.
That's lovely.
Great talk.
yeah, so I think that maybe this... Because, you weren't there when we talked to the Uriel's Watch people and also that cultist
Yes.
that you guys somehow knew, kind of.
Oh, I didn't know him.
Well,
I just took his stuff.
you didn't know him, but Heinrich said something about meeting the Midnight Assembly, but not the same sect.
Yeah, I
of-
feel like we killed a few back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. He's like doing the same stuff. He like raised my friend's husband back from the dead. It was crazy. It's so awkward.
Good memory.
Yeah. He used to be hot too.
Yes, Petus with the nose.
Okay.
Petus with the nose.
This is why it's hard naming NPCs. Although to be fair, Petus was a dumb name.
Petus was a name
This
that
was memorable. So not bad.
2 years later in real life we can still remember that name.
It's getting close to 3.
That's true.
We started in 2019.
That's true.
Yeah, that was before we streamed, but it was
Yeah,
still that's
yeah,
when the
yeah.
beginning the campaign was.
That was my first set of robes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
3 months.
See, that was you guys were in the drawing down 4 months.
4 months ago.
Okay. So it's been happening for at least 4 months.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It seems like it has something. Remember Zeistries?
No. Who's size trees?
Are you actually asking? I can't tell if you're Morwen or not.
Yeah, there's so many names. I have a peanut brain, you guys.
Necromancer Mindflayer guy from
Oh, this one? And I bring out the Mindflayer
the
skull.
one who seems to be behind all of this raising of the dead.
Oh,
Probably.
not that one.
Wait, what did you just pull out?
For
A Mindflayer
brief
skull.
seconds, you saw this weird shaped skull just flashed out there, and then it
Not
disappeared.
Frank, right?
No, this is Priscilla.
Okay,
This.
because I've seen Frank.
Yeah, everyone's seen Frank.
Priscilla?
Yeah, I actually have that written down. I
Yeah,
named it
you named
Priscilla.
I
that
remember
when,
that,
when you
yeah.
had that wonderful show and tell with Miss Runeland.
Yes.
So Priscilla is a mind flayer skull, elongated these kind of gaps where the tentacles presumably would join.
You were present for that.
No.
No.
Because Morwen went into this little...
no, you snuck
Yeah.
off to
Yeah.
do that thing. That's
Yeah.
right. That's true. And then you never showed anyone afterwards.
Yeah,
True.
because I
This
was
is
like,
the first.
Miss Runeland, she pointed, and I took the spider and went into like this little cubby hole of an area.
Yeah, I remember that now.
What? Did you just... Priscilla?
Yeah. She's gonna make me a lot of money somewhere.
Do you know what... Why would I even be asking that? Let's put that... Yeah.
Oh,
keep
she's
that-
away.
Yeah, keep
yeah.
it, like, very away. Okay?
Like, yeah, I mean, I don't want anyone to know how much, like, things gonna go for a lot of money.
Okay, let's get to the block and look out for any suspicious activity. You know, people walking in your robes, stuff like that.
Oh, I'm not wearing the robes anymore.
Okay.
No,
Just
but
just to be clear.
ones that you
yeah,
had.
I took those off.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
But,
I'm
yeah.
normal.
Let's-
Normal attire.
Let's
Yes.
go.
Relatively
bye.
speaking. So, you all eventually... So first, Heinrich, you, Nizara, Shay, you, by about 30 minutes, beat them. What are you doing in the time before they arrive?
I guess just the first and easiest thing is, does it look like a densely populated area? Probably not at this time of night, but like, is it something where domiciles where people would be collateral damage should a big fight break out?
There are certainly houses, and so,
Okay.
you know, you walk past, and you've been on the street actually, as you walk up to what is called Sun Street, and walk along it, you see dust mocks off to the left that you had peered in before. It's kind of sandwiched between a house and this kind of like an alleyway kind of. Moon Street is on the opposite side. It's another large avenue. There are houses, but they're separated generally by like 5-foot wide alleyways or sometimes sidewalks, but really pretty dense. Not as densely populated as Nocturne by any means.
Sure. Okay. Are there any guards?
In the time that you walked and the route that you walked, you wouldn't have come across any guards. The only people that you would have seen would be through windows, kind of, and even then, many of the windows are shuttered. You see just bits of light kind of coming through.
Okay. Alright, Zara. If you were a statue, where would you be?
She looks around.
Or Shay, you as well, with better eyes.
Throughout the whole walk, Shay very much paying attention to their nonverbal communication,
Okay.
and as well, like, keeping an eye out for...
Make a
Thank you,
perception
Maria.
check.
22.
Okay. Walking along, there is like a burned out, what looks like at some point was probably one of the bigger structures in this area, built of stone, like just natural stone that's been put together to form almost like a castle-like structure. Badly burned out. You can see like a bit of charred wood in there that's probably like a cross timber, maybe one remaining pillar that's crumbled a little bit. it looks like maybe not a castle, maybe like a bell tower or something of that nature. That's one of the only two non-houses that you see. There are no real parks here. It's just very much like straight cobblestone across most of the space. So you don't see any statues.
Okay.
You don't see... You would actually see that there is somebody else walking kind of vaguely off, and as they kind of hurry, it's like an older person that seems to be kind of rushing home in the rain. And they're heading like opposite of where you guys came from, so further into the anchor. Not a lot else. I would say, of all the places as you were walking, you do see the only other shop is this oddities shop. And peering through the window, you can see like there are bottles, and there's like a bookcase off to the left-hand side. There's all kinds of odds and ends in there. Would be a good place for a statue or kind of scroll things. Across the street from that, there's a couple houses. Further in, almost at the other end of Sun Street, there is like a... it looks to be like a shrine of some sort, maybe, although there's no obvious iconography in there. It looks like maybe like an event space, open to the air, like a half hat shell kind of deal.
Okay.
All right, you guys.
Wait, are the guards gone?
You're not here.
You have not encountered a guard yet.
Are the guards gone?
I'm going to ask you guys just to
You guys took a nice stroll, so you gotta wait. You gotta wait
I'm
your
gonna
turn.
keep you guys. If you don't mind, I think I'm just going to peek inside this shop over here. Might be a good spot for. I mean, it's a collection of stuff, and when it's just stuff, things get lost or forgotten, or their importance is missed. Something might be in there, maybe. What do you guys think? Just keep an eye out while no one has any qualms about me.
No?
Perfect. All right. Does it look like there's anyone in there? Does it look like someone lives there?
You can see like Nazara walks a couple steps over and kind of keeps watch down the street that you came from. Make a perception check. Kind of get close to the window and look in.
12.
12? Looking in, it's hard to see. It's dark. It's a pretty dark space. You don't see torches on the walls, so probably whoever owns it doesn't really need light to see. So you'd guess, in general, it's a dark space. There are windows on the northern wall, and light does come in through there. And from the little bit of light you can see, from the faintest bits of moonlight that penetrate the storm clouds overhead, you see nothing that really looks like a statue. You see a glint from metal, for sure, on the shelf.
Fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just meant for signs of life, like if I were to go in.
You don't see any signs of life. Certainly not.
First and foremost, door locked. Just a quick. Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna be right back. I'm just going to pull out the candle, the veil,
Okay.
and just kind of.
Okay. So, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah. Isn't there like a D100 chance something bad happens?
Yeah, so roll 100.
I just pull up this item so I remember it exactly.
I have to pull up the candle of the veil.
Alright, so
Leave
black
the
candle,
store
single
open.
as an action, may light the candle. Total use of an hour, I have 31 minutes left. Snuff it out, whatever. While lit, tears away thin. Okay, so 5-foot radius sphere of light, which is when I am in the ethereal plane. Each time I activate the candle of the veil, roll a d100. Okay, on a roll of 11 to 99, nothing happens. On a roll of 100, helpful spirit arrives. But the other ones with below 1 to 10 attract hostile denizens of the ethereal plane. So let me not make a solo encounter here for a second. And we got 85.
Okay. So you light this black candle, this faceted candle with the runes that are carved within. And as you light it, the flame kind of sputters a little bit and then black, and suddenly...
I'm like covering it because
Yeah.
it's raining.
The rain does not affect this candle. It doesn't settle on the candle. It doesn't. It seems to almost move around. But as you light this candle and the flame to light, there's a brief moment where Morwen and Akka, you see maybe like 300 feet away, just this brief like, and then suddenly it just goes black. And Shay, you watch as Heinrich seems to become ethereal. Around you, this wind seems to be howling by. You can feel your hair moving, although in the real world that you are vaguely aware of at the tangential edges of your consciousness, you still know that there is not wind, it's just rain coming down. Interestingly, as you do look, and you can see through this building, you see brightly glowing this small silver gargoyle through the walls in the back room of the space.
I was going to cast Detect Magic if nothing immediately happened, but perfect.
Rippling
extends into
around
this-
the space,
yeah.
you see entities,
Oh,
denizens of this realm,
okay.
and both of them turn their gaze to you.
Ah,
For reference, let me get a visual guide here.
how'd our camera look? We're good?
Pretty good.
Oh, that actually gave me a little more space. Ah!
Whoa!
Models.
Look at that.
If you guys could gently guide that so I'm not putting nothing.
Yeah, I got it on this side.
Can't get over here.
Be very gentle.
Aha! This camera is going to be a little tough to.
So Heinrich, if you could place yourself at the, or where's your model? It's somewhere-
They're right towards you, unless you put this on top of them. They would
No.
have
I'm
been
gonna
at the
put
edge.
them on top.
Ah! It's. you
Look at your
can't. It's not
miniatures.
gonna.
That's at least.
Matt's
I saw
holding
them.
it.
I definitely took
Matt's
them out.
holding them.
Oh, okay.
No, don't
So,
do that way. Just move
Heinrich,
this
if you want
over.
to place yourself at the front door of that building, on the
This
northern
one?
side, yep, that is the building.
Where is I? Oh, red base stuff. Uh-huh.
Looking into this building,
Uh-huh.
you see,
Shade down here.
so you guys are coming in a little earlier than I had planned for,
Uh-huh.
so I will take out some of these guys because they're not there yet.
Oh.
Where should we put us and Shay?
You guys are not on this map yet.
Okay.
Shay is presumably up on that corner.
Okay.
Let me see if I can live this. Sorry if anyone gets motion sick from all this.
We're very professional as a studio. Okay, here we go.
You can kind of see.
So,
Please zoom in.
This is the angle.
you peer in through this doorway, through the actual physical door itself, almost as if it is translucent. You can see the shop kind of spread out before you. These items almost insubstantial and inconsequential, but the two most solid things aside from that statue are these ghostly figures. And as they turn, their featureless faces suddenly, these eyes light up. And because it is 10:30, very handily. That is where we're going to take our break.
We'll get the camera set up better.
Yeah, we can get all that kind of stuff squared away. So thank you very much for hanging out with us so far. This is the first half of session 88. I saw Talon, I saw Das. Thank you to our newest followers who are Half Aches, Fork Puff, and Maximum Sour. It is 10:28. We will be back right around, we'll call it 10:40?
Whatever the
10:40.
15. Yeah.
We'll see you then.
Ah!
Howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures in Alberon, or welcome back to Adventures in Alberon. I'm the DM for the evening, Joe Treff. We are coming back from break. Thank you for those of you who stuck with us through the break. I wanted to say verbally, thank you very much to X-Blazer for redeeming 100,000 channel points for a t-shirt. So go ahead and send us your shipping information, your size, to cast@alberonrpg.com, and we'll get you taken care of. We'll send you a shipping confirmation, all that kind of stuff too. A couple of announcements that I forgot at the beginning because I'm human. If you look down at the channel points, you will notice there's no longer a generic icon. It is I don't know how much you can zoom in on it on whatever platform you're using, but it is the actual gold pieces of Sarentil, the double golden dragons. So the Sarentillian gold is our channel points. You can accumulate that just by watching. It's free. You can redeem it for a number of things that have been changed since last session. In addition to the t-shirts and in addition to being able to cast Speak with Dead, which I can't remember if I removed yet or not, you can pay a certain number of channel points to ask one of the characters a question after the game. There's a certain number to allow you to force somebody to sign us out at the end of the session. Usually it's Allie. Yeah, there's a whole variety of things.
I want to ask you something directly, Joe.
Sure.
What is Wheeler Woe?
So, Wheeler Woe.
Oh.
You can pay a certain number of channel points, and this is redeemable, I believe, once a session. So whoever redeems it, redeems it. You can choose either Wheeler Woe, and it will either affect, in a slightly positive or slightly negative way, the world around the game. This is not going to be like a major thing.
Right.
It could be something as simple as, you guys are walking around and talking, Woe comes up, and like this nice gentleman's farm cart breaks down behind you, and the cabbages go everywhere. It could be something small like that. Not the cabbages. It could be any variety of things. So Wheeler Woe is that.
All right. That's fine.
And did I miss any? I don't think I did. There's a few like highlight your message, and you can unlock one of the emotes.
And that shirt.
Yeah, and the t-shirt. So definitely check that out. That's for channel points. There's going to be some stuff coming for bits soon. Still getting that kind of organized, but I would like for some cool things to be available for that. But we'll get there. And with that, we can jump right back into our session. Talon. So you have a lot of options. As Heinrich, this veil kind of ripples around you, and you see now the ethereal plane. You see these two spirits turn, the eyes flare to life. And I need everybody to roll initiative, because we're starting the party early.
Coming in hot.
Better take care of it now than when there's also lots of undead around.
True. Maybe.
Right, I'll take that.
Where are we here? Tabletop music, and then I want to say we're looking at. I think it's this one.
Oh.
Not that one. That's so relaxing for combat.
It's a.
You're about to get
slow
fucked.
Yeah. So Sirenscape is a little disorganized today because I started my, you know what? I know what it is.
Sirenscape. Not a
Digital
sponsor.
Certainly not a sponsor. If anybody has
But a pretty good site.
I think it would be a program.
Yeah, I guess downloadable app.
Sure.
Software.
Nope. I don't know why. I always think that's going to be the one, and it's never that one. This one.
I'm trying to think here.
Here we go. It'll work.
I guess it's a tool set.
It's a digital tool set.
Yeah.
Roll for proficiency.
Proficiency?
On this.
I'm proficient in Sirenscape. Oh my gosh.
see
In
it
the
in
break, I lost my
dice.
pen. Can I borrow a pen?
I have a
There were
pencil.
a few
Pencils,
on the
yeah.
other side.
They're on the
Pass
other
them
side
down.
of the.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Just want to pass me something. Thank you. Oh, this is what I need. Thank you
The
kindly.
one.
All right. Anybody with a natural 20? All right. Anybody 25 to 20?
No one.
Pretty low.
Okay.
What? Well, what about
20
Nazara?
to 15? No.
No?
18.
All right, 17.
Also 17.
What are your dex scores?
3.
Four.
Or 16, but yours is higher, I think.
Okay.
18.
Yeah. Flat. It's plus 4.
Heinrich. And then Morwen, where are you coming in here?
14.
Ooh.
Is it just flat?
Dex? Yeah.
Morwen
19.
last?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Morwen. Okay, so they are going first.
I don't need to, like, fucking stand up to look at this. I can't see over these walls.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, you could kind of just like there.
That's true, but it's not super large. That's alright.
Bring it up here.
I'll just do it on my phone. But then I need my spell list.
So,
Here.
That's cool.
Oh,
to start.
never mind.
He's got the big screen. Oh no, wait, you use it for your
I
character.
got it.
Look.
We're good. We're good.
That's
We're
like,
good.
You have to watch 5.
everybody ready?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good. We're good.
So, Heinrich, you watch as these two creatures suddenly rush forwards, passing through the walls,
Oh, jeez.
as they are still within the ethereal plane.
Oh, jeez.
As they reach you, if you
Okay.
mind actually moving them, they're both in the back room.
Uh-huh.
Put one in the square directly in front of you, and then one to the side.
And then, which side? The not bookcase side, probably?
Yeah.
Yes.
Arms on top of the bookcase.
Yeah. I have to, like, wait 15 seconds to...
He's in the book.
Suddenly, you're aware of the fact that they appear in front of you, and they just kind of become more real. Although you still in the ethereal plane, it's still kind of hard to see. But you would imagine substantial in the real world.
Okay.
The first one is going to reach out and simply attempt to touch you.
No touch.
That is going to be a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that does.
All right. So as this ethereal figure grasps your shoulder, you feel a stunning amount of cold. And you are going to take... Isn't that... that is... Oh, man. You are going to take 27 points of necrotic damage.
Ouch.
As all of a sudden this touch becomes cold and then almost like a searing pain. Looking down on your shoulder, you see the area around the dark kind of armor that you wear, the scales, is beginning to kind of decay and
Ew.
crumble.
I mean, hellish rebuke.
Go
Just
ahead.
get it out of the
Make
way.
a constitution saving throw
Okay,
first.
cool. Con save. Ugh, terrible. That's 6.
6. And your hit point maximum is reduced by that amount.
Okay.
So reduced by 27.
Okay. Now, how does that work with temporary hit points that exceeded that?
Temporary hit points are not affected by that. So it's your maximum.
Okay, so I
hit
keep
points.
my...
Those are... So, but the damage... will
Okay,
take
so
your-
damage is that, and then now minus
Yeah.
27.
Damage hits temporary hit points first.
Okay.
And then any damage that spills over into your health reduces your maximum hit points.
Okay, so then it would be reduced to 107.
Yeah. The other one, kind of from behind you, reaches out to do the same. That is not going to hit. That's going to be a 12.
No, that does
So
not.
feeling the jolt from the first, you like back from the other one.
Yeah, that's the hellish rebuke time on that one right
Go
there.
for it.
So let me just go ahead and increase that. All right, it needs to, I think, dex save.
Dex save. That's good at
Just
those.
make sure. Yeah, dex
bad.
save.
That is going to be at 11.
Nope, that fails.
Yeah.
And then we got, it's d10s, right? Yes, 3d10. So, 9, 8, 17, oops. 17, 25 plus 5, 30 points of fire damage.
Fire damage.
Yes.
So as you like turn, redirecting the decades of hatred that you feel as a tiefling in this continent, kind of hated actually by a lot of the people around you, you see this fire flare around, although it doesn't seem to take hold as much as you would like.
Huh.
But it does do damage.
Okay. Well, that's good. All right. That was just my reaction.
Okay.
Is that it for them?
The second one misses. That is their turn. That is going to bring us to Shay. Akka, you're on deck. Shay, what do you want to do?
Can I see any of this?
From where you are, you cannot see any of this, but you do see Heinrich suddenly like jerk back with the impact of a blow.
And probably the flare of light spilling out of the windows, too. From the hellish rebuke, I'm assuming you would see me, like, doing that from within the house, at least.
Yeah, so through the northern windows, because you can see the windows, you do see this fire flare to life, although you don't see these spirits.
Are most of your things really visible?
Yeah.
Like in general? Like it's always like
Yeah, it's either or.
I think Shay's gut reaction would be to reach in, like, kind of pull him back while,
No, it's
like,
magic.
punching into the space where she saw the fire.
Okay, so you
So
run
it
over.
would be the
you can-
door, right? Because the
Yeah.
door's still closed.
So the door is closed. Yeah. You can grab Heinrich, and
Kind of, like,
then
neck, pull back, and, like, this
Okay.
motion.
Wait, I'm ethereal.
you are
I'm
ethereal.
still. I haven't had a turn yet.
So as you grab forward, your hand
Sorry,
goes through
sorry.
Heinrich, brushes the door, which is locked.
I mean, with that still continuing forward to see if anything connects, but...
Okay, yeah. So you move forwards, and your hand touches the door.
And then would back up. Enough, because he seems like he's coming backwards, right?
Yeah, he seems like he's almost pulling away from
So,
something.
like, sidestepping out of the way so that way
Is this okay?
he can keep moving.
Middle of the street, around the corner. Where do you want to go? Because you could pretty much move anywhere, I think.
Like, maybe
I had you back up that way.
feet. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so that is what you're doing.
For what it's worth.
That is, oh yeah.
No, I'm just saying on the stream I might move the camera. Just
Oh.
I was
but
about to
whatever.
suggest.
Yeah,
Just do a little tilt.
it's kind of tough,
Aka,
but
you're up. Heinrich, you are on deck. Aka, what would you like to do? At the moment, you are about 100 feet away from this happening, further to the north. You see Shay you would see this orange disappear into the dark, and as you get closer, you see suddenly it's now closer to this building. You see the celestial glow of Heinrich's magic kind of activating.
I would probably start running down there, seeing that.
Okay, you have 35 feet of movement speed?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna haste myself though.
Okay. So as an action, you're casting haste?
Yes.
Okay. So that would make your movement speed 70. With 70 feet, you end up just off the map on the north. That is just your movement.
Okay.
With haste, I believe you have a second action.
I believe that
Yes.
I also have a second
That's
action.
correct.
So you can use that to dash.
I think I'm going to dash.
Okay, so you can place yourself pretty much anywhere on the front half of the board.
Okay.
here you go.
Oh, I forgot to say also, the Hero Forge version of Akka will arrive sometime in the next 2 weeks.
Yay!
So we will have the
Yay.
full
Let's
color
kill him
printed
first.
Hilo.
No.
That's kind of how it seems to go.
No.
Dead.
Yeah.
First in, first out. It's the FIFO style.
Awesome.
So go ahead and place yourself.
awesome.
That is your action, your second action. You still have a bonus action.
Haste is an action. Haste is an
Haste
action.
is an action.
Haste is an action.
And then I used my
Action.
movement and then my second
Your
action.
hasted
to
action.
dash.
Yep.
So you still have a bonus action.
Okay, and then for
Bonus
a bonus
reaction.
action, I don't really see anything besides Shay, right?
Do you see Heinrich?
Oh, Heinrich's
How
out
am I
of the
visible
astral
in the
plane now?
ethereal? Or is it
You're
just
like this kind of ghostly outline almost. Yeah.
it's like
Okay.
grayish.
So
line
I guess
tracing.
I'm gonna like come right up to Shay and be like, "What happened?"
Answer on my turn.
All right. Anything else, Aka?
I guess that's about all I'm gonna do for now. I don't really have
you
a
go.
bonus action to.
All right, Heinrich, you're up. Nazara follows you, and then Morwen, you are after that.
Okay, so I'm just counting here. I feel like I would try to dash around and grab this statue. I just want to get it first.
Okay. So go ahead and dash through. You are ethereal, however, so are they.
Yeah.
That is going
I
to
would-
provoke attacks of opportunity.
For both, even though
You can go around to
I
the
wanna go
right
like-
side, and you'll provoke one.
one. That's where I was
Through
gonna
the
go.
bookshelf?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through. I'm gonna
Yeah.
run through the whole place
Absolutely.
to get to the statue.
So you rush
Objective first.
through
Is this,
the bookshelf, and
A dude or some armor? Right here.
that's a set of armor. Yeah, that's a set of
So
armor.
just through here to here?
Back to where the statue is, which is in the back room, where they were originally, roughly.
So like scoot.
So that's 25 feet of movement straight through.
Yeah.
You through the wall. However, the first one, as it swings at you. Oh wait, this is a D12.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I know.
Can never hit me.
I mean, you'll take that too. 10.
Nope.
So it just kind of reaches out, but you
Yeah.
right through all these objects.
Yeah.
As you appear, go ahead and make I want to say that this is a Constitution saving throw. Give me 2 seconds.
Being near it?
As you look upon it.
Okay. There's some Cthulhu shit going on here.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, my... Not best. Yeah, that's a 5.
As you enter this room, you pass the suit of armor, and the only thing that is solid is this gleaming, grinning, grotesque-looking gargoyle made of silver. And it appears solid in the ethereal plane. As you look at it, suddenly, you are going to take...
What? Take?
4 points of psychic damage,
Ow.
and suddenly you go blind.
Ah.
The world goes dark around you, and
Okay.
you are blind.
That sucks.
Within the ethereal plane, hearing the wind of this ghost world howl by you, you are blind.
That sucks.
With these 2 spirits hot on your tail.
Yeah, that's fine, but I know where it was last I saw it, so I'm gonna still grab it.
Yeah, and so without issue, you can grab
Yeah.
it.
So I have it now. I'm holding it.
Yeah,
That
so
doesn't do
it's
anything to me.
it's 10
Perfect.
pounds.
Swing it around.
10
No,
pounds
it's
of
fine.
silver gargoyle.
Into the bag it goes.
Okay,
Just
so-
into the bag it goes. Just so
No
no one
problem.
else so I'm gonna be like, I'm blind. No one else should be blind. Just taking this off. All right, and then, okay, action.
Yep.
I'm going to. Okay, I don't think it was written down when you gave it to me. Candle snuffing out is
I believe it's a bonus action.
bonus action. Okay, cool. So for the action, just to get myself
Have it.
out of here. What's the likelihood if I dimension door to near where Shay was in my mental picture before I went into the place and all this happened?
Okay.
What's the likelihood I could do that? Could I say like 50 feet diagonally this
Yeah,
way?
yeah, you can do
Perfect. I'm gonna do that
that. Okay.
while snuffing out the candle. So I'm gonna dimension door out of here.
Okay,
And
okay.
remove
okay.
myself from like immediate harm's way and make myself visible so my friends can maybe help me or at least protect me while I'm fucking blind.
Which are you doing first?
I'm gonna snuff out the candle first.
Okay.
No. I'm gonna snuff out the candle first and then dimension door out.
So you snuff out the candle. Suddenly the wind stops and
Yeah.
you're standing in stagnant air.
Right.
Although you feel this unnatural cold behind you.
Right.
You turn your gaze, and as you cast
What
dimension,
gaze?
oh, you're blind.
Turn my
Turn
face.
your body, your
What's going on?
your sightless form
Yeah.
off in the rough direction you believe Shay to be in. And as you cast Dimension Door, for everybody else, you can see through the northern window in the back room this burst of teal light. And suddenly, appearing on the other side, Shay, I'm going to say, actually, Heinrich, roll a d6.
I'm gonna stumble. I feel like it's appropriate that I would stumble,
Sure.
so I'm gonna go ahead and just put myself prone just for the
And we'll just,
cinematics.
like,
I like come out of it.
Scoot you where you land.
So that's a 6 for what it's worth.
Okay, you land exactly there.
Okay, perfect.
Reaction
so it's
to kind
gonna
of
be
grab and hold on to him as he appears.
Okay, yeah, put yourself standing. So
okay,
as you
fine.
suddenly...
yeah. I
Which
was
is
gonna
that-
be like, "Ugh."
Shay, within the rain, you
What's
see
going
before
on?
Heinrich appears, you actually see the raindrops begin to slide around the dimension door before it even puts into place.
We'll just
and
do
you
the-
reach out and just catch Heinrich.
Yeah,
and
we'll
kinda
just
pull him back.
slide you over to where I was for the sake. Or no,
Just
we'll put me there.
Yeah,
That seems fair.
yeah. You emerge out without
Okay.
issue.
And I have.
It is called the Mindflayer's Grotesque.
Oh, that's cool.
That is Heinrich's turn?
Because I did a bonus action to snuff the candle.
Yep.
So I can't heal myself yet. But I will.
Okay, so that brings us to Nazara. Oh, actually, I should put her out on the board. Ugh. I forgot Nazara. I don't know if I can't remember if I painted her or if I even have her in this case. But
there are
for
a couple
sake
things
of
we can use
ease-
in place of.
Here she is. Just kidding.
Because I have
Here
her
she is, the
immediately-
Here she is.
She's going to be Rhodesia
Okay.
Oh,
for today. I don't remember if you guys ever saw Rhodesia either.
Never forget
If you could
about
move her
that.
over to where Heinrich is, please. She's going to
Always
run
in
through
here.
the rain over there.
Over to like here.
Yeah.
I guess free action within the 6 seconds of my turn, which would probably be about 3 seconds at the very end of it. I'd just be like, got it. I got it.
Okay, so Nazara now pulling out this crossbow, eyes towards the door, but she comes up
I'm blind.
right to your
I
next
also say
side.
that.
She's going to put a hand on your shoulder, and just through the rain, where are we going?
I mean, Can I reply?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I can't see anything right now. There's ghosts in there.
All right. It's just going to take you and begin to move you north.
Okay.
If you could move 10 feet to the north, please.
Both of
Heinrich
us?
And Zara.
Side by side.
So probably like
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel your feet splashing through puddles as she kind of drags you along.
Okay.
But no
trying my
problem.
best.
You make it there. That is your turn. That is Nazara's turn. That is going to bring us to Morwen. Morwen, from like almost 150 feet back, you see like Akka begin to run, and then suddenly the glyphs, these beautiful watercolor like symbols on the armor, seem to almost burst to the legs, and he just accelerates through the rain. What are you doing?
I'm going to let's see. I'm going to use feline agility and dash, bonus action dash, to
Okay.
get to the same spot.
For sure, no problem.
Yeah.
So that makes your speed what, 200 and
No, it's 30 to 60
you see that?
to
120.
120.
Okay, no problem.
I'm not her.
Yeah.
160. Yeah.
Okay.
Right there.
just one.
Please. Or 120. Sorry.
Seeing this happen, man, again, it was last week too.
What?
The fizzy drink. Remember?
Carbonation.
Where's the towel? Do you want me to grab the towel?
Oh,
Okay.
One thing, Miles, just so you are aware, that camera is directly in front of me. The battle.
Oh my
cam.
god, it totally is.
Something to just keep in mind.
No, we got this. 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 Ready?
12 people are vomiting
high
now.
quality production.
Yeah.
Look at
So-
that. Look at
Whoa,
these. Look at
that
that.
Damn.
panning shot.
Tracking, actually.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So Morwen, you rush through, kind of following Akka. He gains, you gain on him towards the end, and suddenly, as you appear, there's Nazara and Heinrich. His eye is now completely, both of them black.
Ew.
What are you doing?
I'm just going to draw pus and butts and be like, "What's happening?"
As you draw,
Where are the dead
so pus and
things?
butts.
Yeah.
Okay, so you draw
Not
pus and
loose.
butts.
But no, sorry, loose and butts. Yeah. Sorry.
So if you
sorry,
draw
sorry.
loose, as you pull it out around you, the light fills this violet light. There is
The dead are here.
There is a dead within 50 feet.
Cool. Then I'm going to, because I didn't use my actual action yet, so I'm going to use my action to prepare for the dead.
Okay. So if the dead come within range, you will...
I will poke with loose.
Fair enough. So you prepare that action. It brings us to the top of the round. It is their turn. So,
Tell me where and who.
if you could place them... Well, interestingly enough, seeing the shiny thing, you're going to see them move...
It's in the bag, just for.
No. I'm
not
talking
that
about
shiny
loose.
Oh.
So you can see these spirits through, and the smoke swirls in the rain as they become more real. You watch as the eyes very much turn towards loose, and kind of moving away from that, they go over. Put one in front of Shay, and one to the right of Shay.
Like here, and
Or sorry, to the left of Shay.
there and there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. They go for the easiest target as far as they're concerned.
The farthest from the scary, shiny, pointy
Yes,
thing.
and they're both going to like appear, the smoke swirling around you. They reach forwards. The first one. That's terrible. That is going to be a 9 to hit. No. Okay, better. That is going to be a. I think that still misses. That is a 21 to hit.
Just hits.
Oh, all right. So go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. As it reaches out, you feel this necromantic energy ripple through your body, and your blood goes cold.
22.
22. That is a success. So you are going to take just 14. Not just. You are going to take 30 points of necrotic damage. However, your hit point maximum does not decrease as you are able to surge through whatever is attempting to limit your vitality. That is their turn. That brings us to Shay. Akka, you're on deck.
I'm gonna hit the the one that hit me.
Yeah, go for it. That's the one closest to me.
23.
23. Yeah, that hits.
Engage.
Engage. Make it so.
For 11.
11.
Engage.
What? Okay, 11.
Do it again. 19.
19 hits.
For 9.
Okay. That hits as well.
And why not? We'll do a flurry of blows.
Okay.
Wow, this app's awesome. I can even do temporary reduced hit
21?
points
What was that?
21.
21 hits.
on it, so I can keep all this.
10.
10 points. Okay.
And 28.
That hits.
And on this one, he can make a Constitution saving throw. A 7.
7. Okay. And a con save. That is a natural 1. However, that is a stunning blow.
It is.
Really
Ghosts don't have resistance to.
interesting. So, as you reach forwards towards this creature, it appears, reaches out and touches you. You feel this necromantic energy wash across you, and that cold feeling is replaced with the hot feeling of anger. You turn and strike this thing, and you can see these creatures thought you were the easy target, but with the first hit, and as your fist touches, it doesn't pass through. It hits them full as if they are flesh, and you can see almost, if these creatures could feel it, uncertainty. But you hurt this thing fairly badly. Anything else?
I want to move in the same direction that Heinrich and Nazar are.
Okay, so what? How far?
Keeping pace with them,
Okay.
almost.
So that's 5 feet. So if you want to go next to Akka, that doesn't leave the melee range of the other one, so you're fine.
I also don't provoke attacks.
That's true. That's a good point. So regardless, that is your turn. That brings us to Akka. Heinrich, you're on deck. Akka, from your perspective at the moment, there is the spirit not looking at you, but directly next to you. You see this black smoke kind of trace around, and this vague red glow kind of drip from the eyes.
Okay. So we found whatever was gonna happen here. Something. I think seeing this thing in front of me, I'm gonna try to hypnotic pattern it.
Okay.
I guess both of them, but I'm looking at the one that just appeared right in front of me, and I'm like, boop.
Okay. Boop. And suddenly, as you go,
So like a big square, just like starting at you and going back.
Yeah,
across
just
the-
like, nope. 30-foot
a
square.
nope wall.
from your gauntlet, this watercolor-like mark almost departs and stretches out and becomes this glimmering emerald-like flashing pattern. What kind of save is that, Con?
I believe it is a wisdom save.
Okay, wisdom save. I believe the stunned one. Oh, hang on. Okay, that's pretty good. That is going to be a 17.
That is an 18 to hit.
Ooh, okay, so what happens?
Twisting pattern of colors weaves through the air inside the 30-foot cube. Each pattern appears for a moment and vanishes. Each creature in the area who sees it must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, they are charmed for the duration. They are incapacitated and have a speed of 0.
Okay. So as you do this,
it
you
ends
see...
if it takes damage or if someone uses an action to shake them out of it.
So as this happens, you can see it's as if this has no effect.
Immune to charm.
But one of them is stunned.
Yes.
Okay.
One doesn't react because it doesn't care, and one doesn't react because it can't.
Is this the one that is stunned?
Yeah.
As far as you know, yeah.
Well, yeah. But also this one is right in
It's the one
front
that
of me.
shades
Yes.
hit.
Okay. I guess I will try to lightning launch it.
Okay.
So I think it's just.
Is it a dex save for them?
No, it's just it's one of my attacks from the armor.
Okay.
It counts as a melee weapon.
Okay.
A simple ranged weapon, rather. Ooh, that's not great. That's going to be a 13 to hit.
A 13 just hits.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So that does 1d6 lightning damage on a
Okay.
hit, and then I can deal an extra d6 once on each of my turns. When
There
I
you
hit
go.
them.
Nice. So as you launch this, you can see the lightning through this form and
It's
actually
raining, so I get super effective.
Environmental bonus.
Super effective.
sparks leap off and into the rain, kind of discharging up into the clouds. Go ahead and roll damage.
Ooh, that's going to be a 10. 10
10.
lightning damage.
So as you see the lightning damage does do something, it's not quite as much as you would hope.
Okay. And then I guess for my final, I guess I can do bonus action, right?
Yeah. You're hasted, remember, also.
Oh yeah, I'm hasted. I have another action.
You do. So what are you doing?
I'm going to... Should I firebolt him? Yeah, I guess I'll firebolt him with the
Yep.
other hand.
Okay, sure. So one hand out, this lightning lurches forward, streaking through the rain and striking this creature. With the other, you point and cast Firebolt.
Okay, so... Let's see how this one goes. Alright, that is a 13 base plus...
That hits.
Yeah. Alright, so... That's... 3d10. All of dice.
This is Firebolt?
Yes.
Okay.
The cantrip. So that's 16.
Okay.
fire damage.
This time, as you see the lightning not quite take effect, you hold out your hand and this bolt of fire goes forwards. Most of it passes through the being, not quite doing the damage you wish it did. Some does seem to burn.
Okay. So it's like pretty incorporeal still.
Yes, as you look through it and kind of see the rain behind, it does seem fairly incorporeal.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna bonus action try to shove it and see if that works on
Yeah,
it.
go ahead and make your athletics check. Why not? Euriel is a good bonus.
So it
action
needs
shot.
to make a strength save.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. That's going to be a 20.
That beats it.
Dirty.
So it does not succeed, or it does not get pushed or
Unfortunate.
pulled.
So as you kind of reach out and try to shove this thing, your hands just right through. Unfortunate.
Ew.
Yeah.
So.
Ghost guts.
Akka, anything else?
I only have my movement now, right? So I'm not trying to. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck in there.
All right. Heinrich, what would you like to do? Nazara's on deck more when you're in the hole.
I asked Mizara, guide my hand, and I stick it out and I start casting Guiding Bolt and hope that she can aim me towards one of them.
Okay, she's going to use her reaction to try to do that. So go ahead and, as normal, cast
Right,
Guiding Bolt.
exactly. Not disadvantage. That's all I'm asking for, because my bonus is good enough to
Yeah.
hit these guys pretty much with any
Behind
number.
me, I'd be like, scooch to the side a little.
Yeah.
Slide
Guide
to
my
the
hand.
left.
And you're like,
Oh, that's great. It's a 13.
a 13 just hits. Very nice.
All right. I must cast this using a 5th level spell slot, so that's 8d6 plus charisma. Can I just get
Oh,
8 of those?
damn. That's a lot. Okay.
Nice.
What kind of damage is this?
This is radiant damage. This is also why I switched, because we're trying them all out here. All right. So we got decent.
And which one are you
here.
firing it at? Well, I guess she's guiding her hand, so you don't know.
I don't know. So it's kind of her choice.
I'm gonna. Shay, could you roll a d6 for me, please? 1. Okay, so it's the one closest to me.
That is 30 radiant damage.
30 radiant damage.
Yeah, and of course the after effect of the next attack at it until my next turn is at advantage
So
because
as
it's glowing.
As you hold out your hand, you yell through the rain, "Guide my hand!" Nazara takes it and just kind of jerks it.
Yeah,
And
I'm just like, ah!
you trust and fire.
Yeah.
The celestial glows around you, backlighting you almost as if it's like a halo, and rushes forwards, striking this wraith. The wraith glows radiantly from within. It does full damage as far as you can tell, and you see these almost celestial flames rippling up now.
I don't
for
see
all of you. Oh, well, for everybody but Heinrich, you can see this, and you also see there is like light being shed from this. It is much easier to see. Heinrich, anything else?
No, I mean, using her help as long as she's willing. Keep retreating back towards quote-unquote base or safety.
Yeah, sure. So move 15 feet further north. And I would actually say, as you kind of pull in that way and she starts helping you, on her turn, she's going to turn to you and say, "You have what we came for."
Yes.
All right. She continues to pull you forwards another 15
Okay,
feet, so you
so
guys are off the map. That is her turn, Morwen. What would you like to do?
Oh wait, do I have a way to like speak back to her
Yeah,
in that moment?
yeah.
I'd just be like, "What if the dead rise? Shouldn't we be prepared for that to protect?"
We need to get this back first.
Okay, and that's enough.
We are not
conversation.
saviors.
Fair enough.
Stab.
Okay. So you see this wraith, these like teal flames flaring up from within it. It glows brightly. Go ahead and make your attack. Make it at advantage.
Yay.
As such, if you do hit, you will get sneak attack damage, despite the fact that you are coming at it with a glowing, bright, like
You're
purple
attacking
sword.
a glowing thing with a glowing
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Sneak attack.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Swashbucklers.
Yay. All right. So that is a 25.
That hits. So go ahead and roll damage, including sneak attack.
You did
I
have
will.
advantage, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Sick. Also, no. Boo. Because no critical.
This is a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And this thing is like, you can see elements of the wispy smoke nature of it like falling apart and burning. It's getting hurt. This is going to be a lot. Even, it's a magical weapon though, so.
Live camera editing. Woo.
Nice. To be fair, this is a more complicated battlefield than we've used before.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because it's elevated off
Yeah,
the table.
yeah,
So.
So it's 34,
Narrow field.
but
34.
I also attacked with loose,
Yep.
which includes 3d6 radiant damage.
Let's
Top
roll
of
that too.
For 11 more.
So as you rush through the rain, you can see this come up. There's a moment where the almost purple light mixes with the teal. And as you strike this creature, it gone.
Yay!
Completely dispersed.
I helped.
It had 4 health left. So it went from 67 damage total to 111 damage total real
You
quick.
stab it
Yeah.
so hard that you just like fall forward a bit because you're like, oh, it's gone.
But yeah, just dissipates. Anything else?
Yeah, so now that dude's gone, I'm just gonna turn to the next guy with loose and just be like,
Okay.
Can it be intimidated?
He's like, oh fuck.
It can't be charmed, so I can't imagine it would have that.
but it
many
just give him a
motions.
nice, give him a nice.
It can be stunned. That's a. Well, yeah.
It is not immune to intimidation, so
Oh.
we'll see what happens there in a little bit. You know what? Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Okay. 30-20.
A
What
dirty
is-
20.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard 30-20 and I was like, that's not a number.
30-20. 60-80.
What are you talking about, Miles?
20.
All right. So that is the end of your turn. That brings us to their turn. As you do that, and you kind of smile, this maniacal smile, this glowing sword that for the undead is like baleful to look upon. It
Like
is
the
going
statuette
to
that I picked up.
hiss and attempt to move towards Heinrich.
That's gonna be some opportunity attacks right there.
Let's see. So you guys traveled. You guys are like 60 feet away.
So where the map ends, we're 2 squares off as well.
Okay, so no problem. It catches up with you.
Yeah.
It is going to catch up, and because you... So, This is going to be real interesting.
Opportunity attacks anyone? Opportunity attacks anyone?
So,
Who's it passing?
Is it
no,
going through
it does
Akka?
not provoke opportunity attacks
Oh.
in doing this. However, as it appears in your space, you see only the hand become incorporeal. It reaches, apparently, through your bag.
My bag?
No, Heinrich's.
I have no idea what's going on, so I'm hoping Nazara can do something.
Well, it's going to be pretty tough because this is a blind grab right now. It's because, luckily, your bag is the only bag that would have this effect, but it can't see through it because it's an interdimensional space.
Right, exactly. So it's going to try to reach through into a portal.
Choose something relatively unimportant from your inventory, and you can remove it because it does not.
Do a D100 because do 2D20. I think that's about how many things I've listed in here.
12 and 5.
Total 31. 27.
17 total.
27.
Oh, 12 and 5, not
Yes.
15. Sorry. So we got in the bag. We have. Oops. Oh no!
What is
Stole my.
Give you the choice,
It stole my fine boots that I got from the Gold Glow estate.
Oh,
My
unfortunate.
fancy boots.
So as it reaches
Prelude
through,
to my other one-shot character.
for anybody else behind,
I need new fancy boots.
Yeah, look at that.
It's serendipitous.
So as you watch Heinrich
I need
disappear,
to
this
seek
thing
out-
reaches into the bag and just pulls out a pair of boots.
Really fancy boots.
The rain begins to strike these beautiful leather boots. Yeah, and as the thunder and the lightning flashes, you can see that they'll be ruined.
No, I can't see any of this.
you
It's
can't.
all so
Anybody else
awful.
can. However, that is
Yeah.
all that it can do. That is going to bring us to Shay. Akka, you're on deck.
I mean,
We're given to me by
I'm
rich people.
following Heinrich and Nazara, and I'm doing my best to shield them.
Okay, so you can get up
this
right
fucking
next
thing.
to it. You have
let's
Nazar,
spill
or
over
sorry,
the
you have Heinrich
streets
in
here.
front of you, and then this thing on the
We're
side.
spilling
So,
over
like,
the
trying to
streets here.
interpose myself between them almost,
Why don't we
and
just move
hitting it.
Make your attack roll.
buildings and make this more street?
I feel like it's gonna end here probably.
26.
26 hits.
All right, let's go. You're right here.
You could also move the buildings. So you guys are just kind of in streets and residences right now.
Yeah.
That's what I was
That's more work.
8. Okay.
People can see this, right?
Natural
see this
20.
combat going down here.
Stop.
Yeah.
I'll move it
natural
up when the
20 hits.
streets
Go
are
ahead
ready.
and roll for that
We
crit.
go like this is the other side.
you
of
critted?
the street.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh shit!
Because we're going up this way, so we'll come up this way.
17.
It's like,
17. Hang on one second.
Continuous. And then once we move up this way.
So with that
slide the
second
whole thing
hit,
down.
as you like reach through and strike it, something seems to kind of like catch, as if you hit some former element of injury that has already been done to it. The nature of this thing, it kind of like begins to fall apart. The smoky tendrils like stretching out. You see elements of it hit the ground and like into black rain that like spills like oil into the stone. It's looking pretty hurt.
Why not? Flurry of blows.
Relax.
17.
17. Yeah, that hits.
12.
Points of damage. All right.
So quiet.
25.
This at the end of this song, there's a little bit of a loop. 25 to hit. Okay.
Moment of silence for this thing that's about to get
9.
demolished.
Hang on, I can't do math. And with that, tell us how it happens, because that brings you to 76, which is how much health it has.
Almost pulling it apart, like just fistfuls out.
Okay. So Heinrich, as you turn, suddenly this effect like breaking from your eyes,
Okay.
you're able to see this creature right in your face. But as you look down, you see Shay's hands kind of reaching through. And in one motion, Shay rips this thing and it just disperses into this like inky smoke that sinks with the rain into the stones and begins to run across the ground. But as they are both dead, that is going to take you guys out of combat.
Oh my god, I can see again.
And suddenly, as you guys feel like the kind of heartbeat in your chest like racing, suddenly you're able to hear like the rain, the wind, the lightning, the thunder. You're just back in the stormy streets of Dungannon.
That
Dead
was
people.
fast. What? I look at my non-existent watch. Is it midnight yet? Was that
No. You
that-
guys, it's probably
yeah.
like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
all right? So on to the next.
I'm like rubbing my shoulder where it grabbed me, be like, yeah, let's get back and secure this thing. It tried to. Wait, can I get my boots? Did it drop them?
Yeah, if you look down on the
Oh.
ground, you can see just some boots now wet.
I'll go cover my shitty fancy boots.
Okay, yeah. So you run over and you just grab these boots off the cobblestones, and as you shake them, there is this like gross, kind of inky, almost very viscous
I'm gonna
fluid.
need to
And,
find someone to fix these.
Oh, I
So
want
it's
some
got,
of the
like,
fluid.
ectoplasm on it.
okay. Do you have a container to put it in?
Aka,
Yes.
you got like vials and stuff, right?
Why?
Can I have some of the fluid?
What? I'm looking at the.
Let's get out of here. I'm just
What
like
fluid?
I'm ignoring this ignorance.
Zara's going with you,
Like,
yeah.
like let's get out of here. And I'm just like
the
rubbing
dead
my
people
shoulder.
Stuff.
Oh,
The stuff that's
Yeah,
on
okay.
his boots.
Shane,
Yeah.
Zara, and Heinrich are leaving.
I'm like, no. What?
All right, man, that's cool. I see how it is. It's cool. It's cool.
They're on his boots. He's got like slime on his boots.
Yeah, but I need the vial.
All right. I guess I'll just like.
Come on, I'll give it back to you eventually.
I mean, if I'm gonna start going,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna be like, just like, give her one of my fucking vials
Okay.
to get her to.
You have a vial. If you would like, and you scoop this up, you can add a vial of mud /
There's nothing in it really. It's just
Uh,
my
question mark.
vial hits. Oh, mud and question mark.
There is something unnatural about this mud. As you kind of like shake it in the vial and lightning flashes across, there is like this weird inky substance that shifts through the individual like pieces of mud and like little twigs and stuff, but something weird in there.
Yay. I
Got it.
literally spelled out question mark,
Nice.
which is very strange.
I know that it's not true, but this is the most historied object in my possession now. Boots obtained in Colteron from the Golden Glow estate, ruined by ghosts in Dungannon.
Yeah, they've had an interesting life. So Nazara, Shay, Heinrich, you guys kind of take the lead.
We'll see.
Aka, you follow very shortly after. Morwen, are you following after you obtain your goo? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I would
Wait,
probably catch up
actually,
because I'm still
no.
hasted.
Okay, yeah, so
Because-
certainly. No problem.
I'm not. I'm
just
checking out
take
this
your
empty
vial.
store.
Okay, yeah.
Big
why
shit.
not?
It's still locked. The door isn't open. Just so you
Think
know.
I care?
Oh, I know. Just for
Okay.
what it's worth.
So you go up to
It
the door.
seemingly had absolutely no passable trace of anyone ever being in there tonight. Because I wasn't corporeal when I was in there, and the ghosts weren't either.
Yeah, are we?
It'll look relatively like untouched
Yeah.
because none of the combat was in the in like the regular realm. It was in the
See
ethereal
that? I was
realm.
trying to not destroy people's
Where are we-
property.
Yeah,
First
nice.
time ever.
I'm not gonna
Appreciate that.
destroy it.
What did we get, and where are you taking it?
We're going back to we're going back to where we were.
And what did you get from them? Because there are a few things.
You'll see.
that we
It's
could- well, it's one of the things that.
a
was-
statue.
So make a
Okay,
sleight of
there we
hand
go.
check if you're going to try to
Is
pick
that
the
so
lock.
hard?
Look, I don't know what's up with my shoulder, but it really fucking hurts right now.
Ah, damn. But it's still buckling. A 25 because I can't
That's
roll lower
enough.
than a 10.
It takes
and
a second,
expertise.
you know, with the rain kind of coming down, getting into your fur and going into your eyes. You have to stop and like move it every now and then. But after a couple, like 30 seconds, tink, you hear it and pull the door open. Looking in, still fairly dark, but you can see everything that's in there. There are books. There is this like kind of length of chain that you see off to the right. There's a number of bottles. Some you do see at least one health potion in there, but there are other bottles you don't recognize. There is a package of candy on the counter.
Take it.
Okay. So you can add a package of. Hang on, I have to find it.
I take the candy. I eat the
It's not
candy.
visible.
Okay, so you pop this into your mouth. It's like a little bag, and they have these like these little sun-shaped candies. It's 6 different colors. You see red, brown, yellow, green, tan, and dark green.
Brown candy.
Little brown
And
sun.
there's brown M&Ms.
The chocolate is brown.
I'm gonna take a random potion or bottle
Okay.
towards the back that looks like dusty, so
Okay.
it's not the first obvious like missing one.
Roll a d100.
Okay. See, I told
You
you I'd
see
get
on the
you your
shop's
vial
counter,
back.
there's a collection of bottles.
For a 23.
23. Those on a D100?
Yeah.
Okay. I tried to get more on one of these a long time ago. It's not the most dusty bottle, but it's the one that attracts your attention. As you kind of like root through them, there's a faint glow from one of them. And as you pull out this soft, kind of clear pink fluid, you kind of hold it up and you can see just this faint pink. You shake it.
Love potion.
You see 3 little glowing hearts.
Literally.
You can add a filter of love, PHILTER, filter of love, to your inventory. I tried to give you this early on in Squall's End to allow you to cause more havoc for.
If she had thrown it on Jaruxa.
Oh.
They need to consume it. So you can't just splash it on someone.
Yeah, but I'm sorry.
Morwen gets people to. No, Morwen gets people to eat shit all the time.
The world.
The other bottles appear to be like alcohols. There are a few that are
plenty.
empty.
Gotta go ahead and say, fuck Morwen's miscellaneous. It should just be Morwen's matchmakers. Or matchmaking.
Oh my god. Don't even. Cool. The last thing I'm gonna do is check out that back room because I know where the good stuff is.
Sure.
Typically.
Make an investigation check.
Yay. Sure will. Natural 20. What's good?
Wow.
Not even joking. See?
It's on the die.
Yeah.
Okay. The only other magical item, which you needed pretty much a natural 20 to find.
Yeah.
Because it is not necessarily something that I wanted you to have.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Gimme.
In the corner. Mundane at first, but as you look at it, the sort of wood that it's made of, a strange grain, you kind of get closer. And Morwen, you've never really been interested in brooms before, but something about this is just wildly different to you. The shape of it's strange. And as you get closer to it, it kind of shakes a little bit. Okay. You can add a broom with a little asterisk
shy
next to it.
broom.
Yeah, sure. Add a shy broom to your inventory.
However, you'll remember that it's very special.
A nervous broom because it shook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that is the...
God, Lauren's gonna become a witch. It's gonna be hilarious.
She is her own black
She has
cat.
the robe. She is a black cat with a skull in her tail, flying around, cackling in the thunderstorm.
The skull isn't
Happy
always
Halloween!
in the tail.
No, that's true, yeah.
So,
This is how Halloween
you
starts.
take that, and what else would you like to do?
This feels good. I'm gonna leave and lock up shop like nothing ever happened. Probably took the most valuable thing. See you guys later.
Yeah, for sure. The second most valuable thing that existed in that shop. The first most, Heinrich has.
Well, you know.
So,
And it's silver, so it's
You guys-
not so shiny.
Morwen, for what it's worth, you would know Duskmock. She is an ancient goblin woman. She's like 13, which is really old for a goblin.
Oh, she owns this place?
She's twice your senior.
You've never met her, but you've heard of her. She's deaf in one ear. She's blind to the opposite eye. She has 3 teeth total. Her breath is known to smell like red onions. Typically, what she deals in, the items that she has, she really cares about the story of the item. So all these items, some are magical and some are more mundane. They all have history.
Selling my boots.
Oh. Well, I take it anyway.
Sure,
and
so
I
just-
lock up the store like nothing ever happened.
No
Those
problem.
things are
So
so
you add this up to your inventory and begin to chase after your friends. For the rest of you, is there anything that you're doing before you reach the Dune Top Manor?
So are we gonna go there and then come right back? Because probably want to keep eyes out still, right? We don't even we gotta go stop the other 3 events, right?
That's what I suggested to Nazar, but we have to get this safe first. If we go right back with it and then they get it, bad news.
I failed to see why we would need to do that in the first place. We've got what we need.
True. Might they not even arrive now that it's gone?
Well, don't we want to at least try and? I mean,
I'm in favor of getting it out of the area that it was being told it was in.
Oh yeah, no, I think we should move it, but how far? Like, I'm asking you, how long does it take for us to get back there, and then come back
20
to
minutes.
Sun and
20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. It's not far.
Okay.
You guys are still
So-
within roughly the same part of the anchor.
Okay, and it's like 10-ish now, so we have like 2 more hours
Something like
before midnight.
Hard to tell exactly.
Go back, short rest, return.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm fine
go-
with that. If nothing
go
else, just to
secure it.
see what these undead are like.
Go secure it, and then come back and be here at like a little before midnight to be on guard.
Okay. You guys head back with that issue. You arrive at the Dunetop Manor. You smell something. Something very nice. As you walk up the steps, now soaking wet, all of you. Morwen, you still have not arrived. There is a new figure there. You see... Just a moment. You see a halfling. Kind of legs crossed, sitting on the ground. He looks a little sad. He's got fair skin with freckles and curly red-brown hair. The gear is similar to Nazara's. It is this kind of like brown cloak, leather armor, and some hide that kind of comes out of it. But you can see he's sitting there with this fairly large kind of plate, and there is like a very plain-looking, however good-smelling whole fish that's been roasted. There are parts missing. It's been kind of picked at. But he like looks up as you all walk in, and at first there's like a little bit of fear, but then he sees Nazara, and he nods, kind of stands up. Do any of you all need like towels or something? It's raining quite badly.
Yeah.
Thamor! And you see kind of coming down the hallway from the doorway. So somebody's standing guard. Kind of hobbles over and passes these fairly rough towels to each of you. Really more like blankets, but...
I'm fine. Drying off and beginning a short rest.
Okay. Gonna sit down.
Yeah.
Nazara follows you over and just... So can we see it?
It literally blinded me when I looked at it. I don't know if that would be wise. If there's a way you could protect yourself when you view it, I would advise that.
She turns to look at Thamor, who kind of nods. That is something I can do. It would be best to perhaps separate a few of us to do this.
Sure, you and I in a room, and I don't know anyone else who really wishes to try.
Thamor turns
we
to look at
trying
this
to do?
halfling and he
Look at
says,
Oh,
her
just
dough.
look at it.
And this halfling goes, "Oh, no, not me. I'll wait here with the fish."
I can identify it. I don't know if I'll be going blind again. Hopefully not. If someone could help me with that resistance to this, it's just it get like I'm just kind of like at a loss for words. I'm just like pantomiming. Like just looking at it, you're like, you know,
The halfling's like, indigestion.
no,
Upset stomach. Diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
no, it's.
Yay,
Not a sponsor.
Can't say I have ever laid eyes upon anything so unsettling. Literally took my vision away.
I'm going to stay with the fish, the
Probably
halfling says.
Just by looking at it.
Yeah.
Are you still blind?
No.
Okay.
They went away when they died. I don't know why, if they were the ones causing that to happen.
Okay.
But I'm still taking every precaution.
So it's still in your bag right now.
Correct. And I'm moving to a room with Thamir.
Thamor, yeah.
Yeah, Thamir. And is Nazara joining? Whoever else.
Nazara's not. No.
Okay,
If
so
you wanted
Thamir-
to, she will.
That's
I'm
fine.
just gonna stay, close my eyes, and wait and see. Well,
Are you
avert
coming
my
with her now?
eyes,
Because we're going to a different room, basically.
Yeah.
so that you don't.
Yeah,
So-
so no one else
Look
looks
at
at it.
And this other Uriel's watch
From the
member
floor plan that you
is
guys can see,
going
Yeah.
to identify.
currently you guys walked up here. Everybody's in this room.
Yeah.
You guys are walking through the hallway. This is where you guys talked. The guy is trapped in this room.
Okay.
You guys are going into this room here.
Perfect. Okay.
There is a huge window on that part, so there is like a little bit of light coming in from
Okay.
whatever is happening. Every time there's a flash of lightning,
Yeah.
there's like a stark set of shadows that come out. But you
Yeah.
guys are alone in this space.
Okay. I'm going to take the towel. So whoever's with me, which I'm assuming is just Thamir and you. Okay. I'm going to take the towel and go into the bag with the towel.
Okay.
And think this statue.
And suddenly you feel the statue in your hand.
Okay. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to set it down on the ground with the statue covered.
Okay.
And she'll be like, all right, is this going to work for just you, or does it work for me too?
Unfortunately, this will work for me only.
That's fine. If I don't get blinded, I will be able to at least attempt to identify what it is. If not, then you can obviously do whatever you need to. Anyways, all right, ready?
You watch and suddenly and you've seen something similar from Nazara when she had message with you.
Yeah.
But you see it's as if this glyph spins to life, these teal sort of sparks striking his cheeks and hitting the ground. And it's like this eye separates, this teal magical eye from one eye and then the other. And it's almost like lenses. But he looks... Morwen, what are you doing?
Oh, did I show up yet?
I'd say right around now, yeah.
Eating the fish.
Okay, so you immediately just kind of walk up.
Well,
and
I would hope.
Oh, great,
May I have some fish?
Prideaux, this halfling, is going to look at you. His eyes just kind of a little bit wide, and then he's going to blink and go...
comes in and asks for fish.
May I have some fish?
Yes, I suppose. Just, this was kind of expensive, and this is for all of us, so... Just a bit.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I take a respectable piece.
Okay, you take a little piece. Begin to eat. It's good. It's blackened fish that has these spices on the outside that have been charred onto the actual skin, but when you pierce it, it is still like a moist flesh within. It's like very, very nice. Just a hint of like some kind of a citrus that you're not familiar with.
Good fish. Say with my mouth full.
He nods and says, "Thank you." For just a moment, Heinrich, you would see Thamir's eyes stop on Morwen. And there's like a good couple of seconds of just consideration. And then he's going to turn and look at this thing.
Okay. I have 3, 2, 1, and then I'm looking at it still because I've already been blinded by it.
I'm kind of like waiting
Make
to see
Constitution
what their
saving
Okay, that's what I
reaction
thought. I'm
is.
just gonna try because like
I'm gonna like wait and then see what the people's reaction is, and then maybe take a peek myself.
Okay.
As long as Heinrich's not like, oh
Another
no, I'm
fucking
blind
7.
again.
Another
Don't do
fucking
it. Don't do it.
Heinrich, you take 3 points of psychic damage and go blind.
God, and I just yell like, not again! I can still use identify. I don't need to see it. I just need to touch it.
You see Thamir actually
4?
wince a little. He takes the damage too.
4
but
was
he does
it?
not
3?
go blind.
Okay.
3? Okay.
I'm gonna like cautiously.
Just like through the fingers like a horror
just-
movie.
Yeah, just like,
like-
I'm so curious because like.
Make Constitution saving throw.
This is like, you know, when you're like a little kid and there's like a really bright light and you're just turning it on and off, staring at it.
Yeah.
And you're like, ow.
Alright, let's see. Constitution save. That's a 22.
A 22. A 22 succeeds. However, you do take 2 psychic damage. As you look at this thing, there is a violent sensation of wrongness that strikes you, and you feel afraid of this thing. You want to look away. You want to not see it anymore, but you resist that effect.
Alright, while touching it. but
Yeah,
not
Thamer
like-
kind of guides it into
yeah,
your hands.
Yeah, well, I was holding it to begin with.
Okay.
I just took the towel off.
Gotcha.
And now I'm just like, alright, well, I mean, you see it. It sucks. This thing sucks.
I look over to
It is
see if
unpleasant.
he can, if he's blinded or seems like he's blinded. He's not.
Heinrich's eyes blacken.
Yeah, I'm
he's-
just like totally.
He's blind.
Yeah.
But
You can't see Thamer's eyes. There are these almost teal, circular, like glowing, sparking lenses that cover his eyes.
kind of looks similar to. His,
He's got on his magic glasses.
When he casts magic, yeah.
Yeah. So I sort of like while holding
Kinda.
on to it, I like reaching awkwardly into my bag to pull out that pearl and an owl feather, and I'm just gonna like in one hand just start like doing the,
Sure.
identify over the next 11 minutes.
Is anybody doing anything over that 11 minutes? Shay, what are you doing during all
You
this?
can identify.
Keeping a
touching
lookout
Touching, yes, not seeing.
Okay.
I
for
don't
anything
need to see it.
coming.
Make a
That's why I'm
perception check.
touching it.
You
Just
kind of
hold
go
on
down
one hand
halfway
with the
down
other
the
one, I'm just
steps.
leading this,
Underneath the house, because this is on stilts, it is fairly dry, and so you can sit on the stairs without getting soaked.
27.
27. There is not another living soul on this street. You look around and you feel pretty alone. But you hear a squelching noise. This kind of...
Are you back at the place?
You go down, kind of looking around, almost 60 feet away. And with your passive perception, the only way that you could hear it over the storm. You can see on the ground, in like the lawn of a little abode, this mud. And then you see like a bony elbow appear. Still flesh, but kind of falling away.
Yep, it's
And
dark.
slowly, you just watch this zombie just pull itself from the ground. Maybe 60 feet away from you. And then the lightning, you see even more vivid, this like greenish flesh. There are areas where it hangs from the bones. Over the sound, you can just barely hear this. And it just kind of staggers into an alleyway and out of sight.
Would
That's
I have
all.
a sense of the general direction?
East.
Okay.
11 minutes pass. Sure. 11 minutes pass.
I'm
And
chatting
as
with
you
the
walk.
halfling.
Huh?
I'm introducing myself to the... I'm trying to be friends with the halfling.
Okay, we'll get there in a second.
Yeah.
Over the course of that little time while you're watching, you just watch the rain hit and slowly the mud kind of closes, and after like 10 minutes it's hard to even see the hole. But you are very aware that there is something wandering around. Over the course of 10 minutes, make a general charisma check as you try to make friends with this halfling.
Yay. 30-20. I'm on fire tonight.
Over the course of this like 10 minutes, you introduce yourself. He introduces himself as Prideaux Glowcloak. He would explain to you he hails from the Ald. You get the sense that he is a little sad, just kind of tangentially, like somewhere on the back of his mind, there is like a sadness to him. He's got a good little beer gut going on. He definitely eats well. He would tell you that he's been investigating this Midnight Assembly cult as well. 11 minutes pass. Hi.
Yes. 1 second here. Specifically, magic item or imbued with magic. Properties, how to use them, whether it requires attunement, how many charges it has, if any, and if there are spells affecting it.
I know
what
what
they
Identify does.
are. Yeah.
Or if
I'm
it
just
was
like
created
going
by a
over all of
spell.
it too. I'm just like, all right.
This
More for
item,
me to ask questions.
as you cast it, there are a few things that you get. However, there is something to this that you are unable to identify. It pushes back against your magic.
Huh.
It is magic, and from the Identify spell, you do learn a few things. This item is called the Mindflayer's Grotesque. It is a rare item, a wondrous item. This 10-pound silver gargoyle has large, vacant eyes that seem to lead to nowhere. A creature that starts its turn within 30 feet of the Grotesque and that can see the Grotesque must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. On a failure, they take 1d4 psychic damage and are blinded until the end of their next turn. On a success, they only take the damage. A creature may choose to shut its eyes or look away. If they do so, they are unaffected by the Grotesque, but have disadvantage on attacks and saves until the end of their turn.
Okay.
There is something else. However, you know that it is a spell affecting it. You can't see the school. There's like a vague maybe sense of divination, and you get the sense that this is being purposefully blocked.
Okay. But it's not the weird type of proteo magic shit
No.
from like Grey Lady and all
No.
that. Okay.
This is strictly speaking like weave-based magic.
Okay.
What?
I relay all of that with obviously not. Guys, it's got a DC of 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's particularly strong. It's also protected. There's layers. Does it feel like ancient stuff, like old stuff, or is this made
The
recently?
item itself doesn't feel ancient.
Okay. Made
There is,
recently?
when you look at the eyes, the vacantness of them lead you to believe that there is
I
a
can't do
depth
that,
to this
but-
statue that is hard to really understand.
Okay.
But whatever you aren't able to send or sense, perhaps lurking within or in some way kind of ensconced in the silver. Hard to tell.
Okay. Okay. I actually have an idea.
Yeah.
Mechanics question.
Sure.
Can I specifically target that magical effect on the object that's blocking it, not the object itself, to dispel?
For what spell?
Dispel magic. 'Cause it
Yeah,
says
oh yeah, for sure.
Creature, object, or magical effect within range. The magical effect I would
Yeah,
think
you
would
could do
be
the effect.
The blocking of
You
the further.
certainly
okay.
could, yeah.
I'm going to try to do that. And again, I have to cast at 5th level. So it has to be higher than 5th level.
It is.
Okay. So then 10 plus whatever that spell's level is the DC.
Okay.
And I make a charisma. Alright. So I have to make whatever that is. Ability check using my spellcasting ability, charisma, plus 5. We got 16.
So you reach forwards, and as you look at this effect, kind of feeling it in your mind as you aren't quite able to see it,
Correct.
it's almost as if you're maybe like not able to target whatever happens. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Let me give
Guys, this is high level magic.
I'm gonna try to also dispel magic on it.
Okay, what level?
Careful, don't want to do it to all of it. There's like a weird, and I'll kind of like in magic sense, like from one user to another, you know how it goes.
I'm gonna do it just at regular 3rd level.
Okay.
Because you'll still have to roll no matter what.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you have 6th level, right?
No.
Yeah. And again, that actually wouldn't matter because
Nope.
it's higher than that.
Yes, it is.
So that's 14 plus my spell modifier.
Yeah.
I just lost it. Where'd it go? Is that?
What? No, it's your ability score that you used to cast.
Oh, so plus 5.
So 19.
Yeah.
19?
It's a 9th level spell.
It is not a 9th level spell. So,
Oh my goodness.
Is
there higher than 9?
as you cast... it's not higher than 9. It's an 8th level spell.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So I got it.
Yes. So as you cast a spell magic, kind of twisting your hand around and kind of like squinting, because though you have not gone blind, it is almost painful to look at. There is something so innately horrifying about this that it is grating to your
Guttural
mind.
Dread.
Yes, but as you cast dispel magic around, whatever this effect is, whatever that vacant look in the eyes is, it doesn't disappear. It seems to almost deepen. How long? What is the duration for identify?
Well, no, I
it's
just
a minute.
learn it. And it just
Instantaneous.
takes. Yeah.
So, I think
I don't know what's beyond it again.
correct.
It was already blocked at the
Yeah.
instance.
So you would need to cast it again.
Right.
However, looking at this object, it is worse than before. It's as if whatever was there
Just unlocked like the depths.
not unlocked,
Oh.
but whatever it was that baffled you from looking at it also limited its effect somewhat.
Huh.
It feels almost worse. And as you look at this, Akka, far more than before, there is a sense that you are being looked back at. But because it is almost midnight,
Oh jeez.
this is where we're going to end for the evening.
Oh jeez.
Man.
Meddling with things we don't understand.
Wrap it back up in the blanket.
I mean, you could have easily
Put it
done
back in the
that.
bag, put it
The
back in the
blanket's
bag.
just like right there. You could have
Yeah,
easily just
I'm
been like,
just gonna
nope.
wrap- As soon as I feel that, I'm like, nope.
Guntir shudders somewhere, remembering
Yeah.
kind skill doing a similar
Mage
thing.
hand it back into
the
the
basket.
It's his beady
you
eyes
don't get it.
instead
That's
that
mine.
come
It's
That-
come to
going back
focus.
It belongs in a museum.
No, fuck you. It belongs in an interdimensional space where no one can grab at it.
Okay, that's fair.
Good point, good point. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with us for Adventures in Alberon, session 88. Are we all back next week? Question mark, question mark, question mark?
Talk to now.
All right, so session 89 will be next Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we pick up with this horrifying artifact, the Mindflayer's Grotesque. Thamor will be able to tell you a little bit more because he does know what this is and has been waiting to tell you, along with the other objects
Oh,
associated.
he had time to interrupt.
Yeah,
He had 11 minutes to interrupt.
Oh, he didn't want to interrupt. No. So once you've kind of identified it and talked a little bit about
I
the
see,
nature
I
of
see.
it,
Then he was like, "Oh, I know this."
He can kind of allude to what this is, probably.
Gotcha.
So would he
I'll
have not
find out what that is.
prevented
Then.
us from dispelling that magic?
Not specifically, but he'll know who cast it, probably, and for what reason he was hiding it.
Oh, okay.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
So we'll find
Next
out
time
next
on
week.
Adventures in Alberon. But until then, it is kind of crazy, so please stay safe out there, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.